Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VESL Thursday Night Lights, week number 3. I am Sepulence, joined now by Time to Light. We're going to be jumping into our 3rd week of tournament season. Before we jump into that, though, Time to Light, how you doing? How you feeling? How's your day been?
I'm excited. We've got a little bit of a change up in our overall schedule. Still the
This is
same game.
true.
We're things mixed up. I like the fact we're keeping it fresh on Thursdays.
Absolutely. Yeah, keeping things exciting. And as Dan mentioned already, we are going to be seeing the same games, but in a slightly different order. So we're starting with Valorant as we always have. Then we'll be going into our drone rivalries that we revealed last week. We're going into game number 2, which is red light, green light. We talked about that last week. Super exciting. We're super eager to jump into that. And then after that, there's only 2 games left, so obviously these must be the ones that have changed. That is correct. That is Brawlhalla. That'll be coming in second to last, and then it will be wrapping up with Marvel Rivals. So all the same games you know and love. We're just changing the order a little bit, keeping you guys on your toes, keeping us on our toes, and hey, keeping the schedule changing because a little bit of change never hurts. Going in though, Dan, I mean, this has been such an exciting couple of weeks. We have seen some very talented teams coming through. We've seen a couple of close games, a couple of not so close games, but regardless, I'm excited to see what these teams are ready to bring to the table tonight.
Yeah, and you're talking about a couple close games, couple not so close games. That is going to happen in scholastic esports,
Always,
whether it is high
always.
school or collegiate. I went to a LAN this weekend and we had everything from a 13-11 to a 13-2 all
Yep,
in the same 4
yep.
hours. That's going to happen. And it is something that some of these students are going to have to be aware of. There are going to be some skill disparities between full rosters, even between rosters, there are skill disparities, especially at the high school level, because you're only picking from the collage of high school students you already have. There's not
Yep.
a whole lot of recruiting at this
Yep.
level. So when you move up to the next level, just be prepared to maybe face players that are of your same skill level, above your own skill level,
Yeah.
or vice versa, where you may be just a little bit better.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's you bring up such a good point as well, right? We're not seeing that same like aggressive recruiting of pulling a
Oh
student in
yeah.
because you play with that current talent pool that you have. So that's based off of a million things, including the size of the school itself, how many students you have to choose from, the students you do have, the experience they have in playing the game they're competing in. It really is this huge flowchart of a million choices and options that lead up to the teams we're seeing, the ranks they have, and the performances they are able to give us. Now in Valorant, we are seeing Shelby High School Gold versus the Ardrey Kell Knights. So coming in, I believe Ardrey Kell, we see them in pretty much every game we have to offer here at VESL, but they are a team that has always stood steadfast in my mind. They're a team that's impressive, that's talented, and I'm hoping they can come out and prove that today.
Yeah, and they're also one of the OGs in the Vessel sphere. No,
Yeah,
kind of everybody
definitely.
started about the same time, but they were one of the OG performers when we got up to
Yeah.
covering Vessel action. I still remember going back. I think it was as far as Rainbow Six when we had that tournament. I think it was over this most recent summer where we saw them pick up a Rainbow Six roster. Now it wasn't a fully cohesive Rainbow Six roster with a
Right,
couple
right, right,
of
right.
other games in their R6 roster, but they performed fairly well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, going in, it's going to be super exciting. We're talking about drone rivalries again, and the inclusion of STEM here at Vessels. That is one of the important, if not the most forefront goal of everybody here, you and myself, the people behind this, putting Vessel all together, is to include the value of STEM and what you can do with it beyond just playing video games, because there's such that clear connection between the two, but STEM can actually go so much further than just playing a game that you love.
I love the fact that we're introducing so many different ways to bring up drone rivalries. The fact that players are coding different drones, it feels like those little rat races where you have to
Yup.
code your
Yup.
rat to figure out the most efficient way through. And it's even more complicated because you're flying at the same time.
Yeah.
I love seeing how many different ways we can institute this across the board, how many different types of games we're playing. It feels like if Overwatch actually introduced weekly patches.
Uh, could be interesting. Rumor has it we could be seeing a little bit of something like that in the future, but rumors remain just that until confirmation comes through. And as much as we can talk about STEM, there is somebody that just will always know STEM a little bit better than we are. He is one of the forefronts here in Vessel to lead the STEM program. So, I mean, he's got something to say. Let's hear what it is.
Hey chat, STEM is back. Hey, I'm Ko, and here are the 3 main ways to develop your STEM skills this season. First up are our main pathway challenges. Here, you're going to find the most value with complete STEM courses and project-based challenges in content creation, data analytics, and cybersecurity. Second are our mini challenges located in the Vessel Gaming Community Discord. These are fun, fast challenges to get you a little taste of what else we have going on in the season. And finally, we have rivalries. The top performing STEM teams prove why they are the best in the STEM League. They'll first compete with drones for 3 weeks before they compete with robotic cars also for 3 weeks, and it all leads up to the final state championships where we crown the top winning team. Interested? Check this out.
Thank you so much once again, Co. We are super excited to be jumping into drone rivalries in just a little bit here. Only one map of Valorant until we get to see
Yeah.
that, but I'm excited because last week it was kind of the cornhole of the bags style where you wanted to move your drone to the certain areas to get points. But red light, green light, that's a whole different beast. This is not code it to fly up in the air and move forward 10 feet. You've got to code it to know when to go and when to stop. And like as simple as that sounds, that is actually a very difficult task to kick things off.
Put it this way, I was bad at it when I could control my own body,
Exactly.
and I was playing it with
Exactly.
death. If you're doing this as part of whatever language of code that you type in, and you're applying it to a robot that has to do so mid-flight, impressive. We've already kind of reached beyond my skill level. Most of these games, when we see them, are beyond my skill level. Let's be completely honest with one another. There's a reason I'm here.
We're back here
Not
for a
there.
reason.
And combine that with the fact that I don't go to high school in North Carolina, so that kind of hinders
This is
my
true.
progress as well. But I love the fact that we're instituting different ways of playing things and showing the different depths of code that these, I'm going to say it, esports slash actual sports slash STEM athletes have,
Oh, absolutely.
all while controlling something that is not directly their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult as well. They have the opportunity of getting to code this from their homes, which I think is super exciting. You get to kind of work on it from the comfort of your own home, which is exciting. But you also, assuming this is like last week, they don't actually know how they did yet. They're going to find out how they did compared to everyone else while you and I are watching it on the broadcast, while we're talking about what's happening. But we can look at the bracket to see how everyone's doing kind of grand scheme if we'd like. I think that could be a good thing to take a look at here.
Yeah, we got Olympic High School with North Carolina Virtual Academy, Caribous County Early, and Cedar Ridge High, Riverside High, Durham taking on Esports Legends, which I don't know what school that's from. Probably just a different name of some school we've seen across.
That's likely. It's likely. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then Philip O'Berry and Ardrey Kell, who we will see. Is that a second time today? Are we going to see them both times?
Yeah, I believe so. So I believe we'll be seeing them in the STEM aspect. We'll be seeing them on the Valorant game as well, which I think is super exciting. But going in just a little bit here, it's going to be, I believe, 4 players, as you guys can see, or 4 teams, excuse me, will move on. So about half the teams we're seeing going to be taken out here.
That's a quick exit, unfortunately, but it's also a quick turnaround for something like this. I love
Yeah.
the fact that we're seeing so many different ways of instituting play and how the brackets kind of flesh out throughout the day. We'll see this similarly down the line when we get into further weeks of regular season play for not only Valorant, but Brawlhalla, Marvel Rivals, same case across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. That same performance across the board is just pivotal for these students coming in, doing the best that they can do in these different situations. I actually don't know if they know what the next challenge is or if they find out when they get there. So that may be a whole nother layer of, going in to code something, you have to find out what it is. And hopefully it's something that fits your skill set well, because while you may be a member of a team, you still have to put in your effort just as any other game we'll be seeing today, other than Brawlhalla, because that's ones. But the point still stands. It's these 5v5 team-based shooters or 6v6 team-based shooters, and it's independent on how well each person can do on their own to create a team that can then go on and succeed. Now, of course, if you're seeing like an immortal player in a silver lobby, they don't need their team. We get that. We know how that works, but we're typically not seeing that rank disparity here at VESL. So it's usually up to these teams as a full 5 to do their best to go into whatever Valorant map we may be ending up on and seeing if they can come out on top.
Now, I do have a leak as to what Valorant map we're headed on to. Massive thank you to Proper, our observer, for keeping us updated in terms of the rosters, in terms of what map we're headed to. We also have a side selection, which I'll get to in just a second. Arguably my favorite map, not only in the current pool, but maybe in the game, just because of how flexible it is, but how lack of 3 sight it is. It is Split, our first map.
I was so hoping you were going to say Split. I love Split. Possibly my favorite map in the game as well. I'm not even kidding. I love it. I think it's so fun. And I love watching high school teams play this in particular, because you get to really see at what part of the meta they are in or what meta they're used to playing. Because we'll see some high school teams come out and bring out like the Sage Cypher mid-lock like meta from 2019. Like there's all these values and all these existences of these metas, and it shows the durability and the sustainability of these teams and how quickly they can improve.
Now, the one thing I miss is when KO is meta, because I would play KO
love him.
and actually have an impactful part of the game. Instead, that's not the case anymore. I'm looking at some agent pick rates. These are in all pro or semi-pro games in the last 90 days. KO has been picked a whopping 198 times, which you're thinking to yourself, hey, that's a notable.
That's a kind of high number.
Yeah. Raze has been picked 16,376 times. Needless
It's
to say,
fascinating.
KO's pick rate is 0.81%.
And it's crazy because KO at one point in time was such a valuable agent. I mean, there was a season or two where we saw a 100% pick rate for KO. So it's insane to see him come out and become, I think, the least picked agent in the entire game. It is a true just downward spiral. It's that emoji where you see the stock
Nose down.
crashing. Like it's really just a tough circumstance for KO to be in. But as the new agents come out, their utility and their abilities seem stronger. They seem faster. They seem easier to comprehend and understand. We do see those middle agents kind of getting pushed out of the forefront. If you were meta when the game started, you tend to still be. Our Razes and our Jets are a good example of that. But if you came out kind of more toward the middle, a lot of those agents have been lost in the sauce. Now, I was talking to Hail Monkey Man last week that I do think Vise is going to be one agent to really break out of that. I do think we're eventually going to see Vise as they continue to pour into the meta just slower and slower, but I feel like I'm seeing Vise so much more often. So hopefully they can break that curse as one of those first middle agents to do so.
I also saw Teo a lot this most recent weekend.
Oh
Teo
yeah.
being picked up
Oh
a
yeah.
decent bit, and it's usually in a double initiator composition
Yep.
where you're
Yep. Yep.
going to see that Teo either in place of the Sky or in place of the Breach. I haven't seen which one he's definitively replacing, which is interesting. Usually, if a new agent is introduced to a meta or
Hmm.
introduced to a composition as a whole, it is to replace one specific agent. But as of now, especially with Teo being so new, it's usually leading to more comfortability than it is to overall viability. And that is exemplified at the high school level, even more so, I think, at the college level,
Yep.
depending on what tier of play you're at. I don't know what we're going to see today. It's entirely possible we see Teo and Vise on split. It's more than likely we'll see neither of those, depending on how much
Yeah.
free time these students have outside of maybe doing some algebra homework.
Yeah, it's true. Oof, algebra and I never got along. That's my one of my biggest high school hurdles. Me and just regular algebra. Not how my brain works. Honestly, I'm a historian more than I am a mathematician. So
There.
that's where a lot of that knowledge comes from. It's always you're good at English and history or math and science, and I'm not particularly good at math and science. We'll put it that way. But regardless, coming in, I do think we're going to be seeing a lot of I hesitate to call them comfort picks, but just agents that we tend to see more thereof. We may be
Yeah.
seeing more raises, we may be seeing more brimstones, just agents that we see a little more consistently. Because as you put it, these are high school students. These kids are busy. I mean, high school is not like an easy thing to be doing, let alone voluntarily signing up for something like this. That can be very tooth and nail, very intense, constantly evolving and changing. Like they're going to be playing agents that if we open their player profile, we see 5, 6, 700 hours on.
That's me when I play Overwatch. That right
Yep.
there is
Yep.
me having a one trick on Soldier 76 and arguably still the one trick of KO when I play Valorant. I played some Overwatch last night. Let's just say it did not go well, and I immediately swapped to Marvel Rivals, where I also promptly lost multiple games. So at least it's consistent across the board when I try and
Yeah,
play.
fair enough. Hey, I'm a Junkrat player. I'm a Sky player. I'm a Cloak and Dagger player. Those are my big three across the board. Junkrat's not particularly good, and I understand that, but he's fun, and that's what matters to me.
Junkrat's good
Sky,
against me. I have no
yeah.
spatial awareness.
Sky is, I mean, she's great. She always has been. She's a very powerful agent. I wouldn't be surprised to see her, but her pick rate, not as badly as KO, has also gone down a little. We see her, I would say, maybe like a little over a third of the time compared to almost 3/3 of the time back a couple of patches ago.
You are exactly right, by the way.
Let's
For a little
go.
over or a little over one third of the time, 36.78%.
I'm locked in. If I know anything, it's
That-
Sky pick rate specifically, but
and that's even more so here on Split. I feel like that's a lot of
hmm
the case with some of the
hmm
older maps where you'll see some of the older agents that have more tried and true experience. You've
yeah,
seen them played. This map specifically, apart from Teo and Vise, the top, or actually not even apart from Teo and Vise, but Teo and Vise are more recently picked, so
yeah, right, right.
orders are kind of skewed. Keep that in mind. Raze, Cypher, Omen, Breach, and Sky. Those are the top 5 most picked agents in that order. Raze at 70, Cypher 52, Omen 51, Breach 42, and Sky 36. And the reason that
Ooh,
Sky and Breach have kind of dropped a little bit
uh huh.
compared to that 50-ish percent margin is because Teo's at like 25%. And recently, Teo's been a lot more prevalent part. But again, this comes down to comfortability. There is a
Yep,
very reasonable way where these players have individual skill that kind of trumps what could be the agent selection norm. We
yep,
could see Teo picked for both teams. It would be very reasonable if we didn't see Teo picked at all.
yeah,
And
yep.
that's a consistent case, I feel like, across the board for multiple maps. arguably more so here for Split.
Yeah, I agree. And Teo's one of those agents, and I tell my students this a lot with a lot of characters of this nature. Either you've got to be doing something, or you're doing nothing at all. It's a very feast or famine play style. Like you have to know going in how the utility works, how the abilities work, how the ultimate works, and then be able to use that and execute it well. Because if you go in and you're uncertain, you're never going to perform as well as you could have on an agent you were comfortable with, which I think is always an important thing to keep in mind, especially at this scholastic level. But going in here, I mean, Split is the first Sky map I ever, or it's the first map I ever played Sky on, because at the time, the friends I was playing with, they're like, Sky works really well here, and she does, but Sky, the pick rate goes down because Omen has been, and forever will be a viable pick. Is his ultimate one of, if not the worst in the game? Yeah, a little, but the rest of his utility is so strong that it rarely matters.
I also think that Omen's a little bit more centralized to his play style as well. That's something to keep in mind. We're going to see Omen on one side. The Yor is not an absurd selection, and you'll combine that with the Teo. So it is the Teo and Breach rather than the Sky and Teo, or even Sky and Breach, at least on one side. On the other, are we just not going to see either of those three initiators, or any of those three initiators? Is a completely different composition selection. And surprisingly enough, it's Shelby High School Gold picking into it. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing either a Sky or Breach, much less a lack of a Teo. Gecko Sova combo here, Seth.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm stuck on. I'm like, wait, who on earth is this? We have Gecko and Sova on the board. A very fascinating combination. We've got Viper on the defending side as well. That's an older compositional pick if I've ever seen one, but Viper does tend to be very strong if you know how to play her.
So oh no. I was talking about comfortability. It seems like that is even more so the case right now. You remember how I told you that KO is picked 0.81% of the time?
Yep.
Phoenix is the next lowest at 0.72% of the time. Yeah, it's not great. Oh no. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how Phoenix is going to be picked up. I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix has the most impact individually, because it is more of an individual agent. But the problem is when you have a fairly decent composition on the other side, that could very quickly just completely take out a Phoenix.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating. And I believe it's Ardry Kell on the left, on the defending side right now. Those names look pretty familiar to me. Asteria in particular. I feel like that's an AL player that we have seen. Yeah. So Ardry Kell is starting on the defense. Going in, that does, of course, if you know how this game tends to work, put Shelby High School Gold on the offense. Now Shelby High School Gold with the Waylay brought to the table. I have not seen anything of Waylay other than what I've seen from Riot themselves. So this will be really fascinating.
I have not seen Waylay played at all, and neither has most professional spheres. Apparently, we are not going to see Waylay play today. Skill issue?
Been there for sure. We've got a DC coming through. It's not going to be impossible. I mean, things are a little bit difficult coming in. There could be a DC issue. We've had some connectivity issues in the call that we're in right now as well. So could be a million things. We're going to try to get it figured out for you guys in just a couple of minutes, though. But regardless, those kids just gave us a lot to talk about. My goodness. I mean, the Teo on the board, the Viper on the board, the Sova, the Gecko, every agent under the sun that we didn't talk about making their way to the forefront. So, I mean, it's going to be a fascinating choice.
Yeah, on Teo on one side, no Vise whatsoever, but we are going to see the Waylay, which I think that combination of things is surprising. The lack of a Breach, Sky, or Teo on one side, instead favoring that Sova Gecko combination and combining it with the Waylay. I feel like they just want to give us things to talk about. It's probably a good thing that Proper disconnected so that we have a few extra seconds to cover what's going on. Because of all the things that were on the likelihood list of things TTL thinks he's going to see today, Waylay Phoenix was very close to the bottom. Waylay period was just above that.
Can I be honest? I did not know Waylay was out yet. Full disclosure, I did not know Waylay was playable.
I didn't know Waylay was playable. That's what I was going for. I did not think Waylay was playable yet.
I knew they had been announced, but I did not know that Waylay was already in the game. I mean, that is fascinating. New duelist brought to the table, though. I mean, I'm excited to see if they can get played well.
There are also important conversations to be had because a lot of other leagues do not allow for agent play until the first 2 weeks. Yeah, it's back to back. That's the important conversation. Back to back weeks, you will see Waylay played in unranked or in ranked, and then after a couple patches, which is usually that 2 weeks span or so, then Waylay's played. Here, I don't think that's the case. I feel like you've just looked it up as to when Waylay was released.
Not looking up when Waylay came out. I'm just looking at Waylay's kit, and
That's
it
interesting.
is pretty wild. Came
Ah,
out very recently.
That's why we disconnected for a reason. You
Because I
can't
don't think
play
Waylay's
Waylay.
allowed quite yet. So a little bit of overzealousness, which is good because it gives me a little more time to, learn about Waylay. Anyway, I've got confirmation we are loading back into the game in just a minute here, so I'm super excited. Shelby
Yesterday.
Gold versus Audrey Kelham Knights, literally not even 24 hours or just over 24 hours ago. But we're jumping right back into the matchup here. We've got the Viper, Yoru, Omen, Breach, and most likely Teho, as that is who they were playing on a minute ago. But let's see if the rest of the comp stays the same. We've removed Waylay. Let's see if that changes what Gold wants to do here.
I wouldn't be surprised if we just see the Viper, unless they try and change it to a double controller composition. It seems like because they're not playing, no way they go triple initiator, right? I mean, if you're going to bring a third initiator, I
Go
feel like
crazy,
they would
right?
do it. But there's no way Midnight's like, yeah, I can't play Waylay, so instead I'm just going to about face into a third initiator. Really? I think that's gonna happen. Please.
I was gonna say I'm kind of feeling it in my bones. There could be a really high likelihood that this could be triple initiator versus. I mean, duel on the other side. We have only. It'll be 3 duelists. That's not that crazy, actually. We got 3 duelists in total. A lot of possibilities here. This is definitely leaning into what you and I talked about here, TTL. This feels very comfort pick.
I don't know if there has ever been a game that I've watched where it's been triple initiator, double duelist. Ever. Period. End of story.
I honestly couldn't tell. I've done too many. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even if I could go back into all of them, it would take me a very long time to even find a thought process like that.
Yeah.
They have locked it in. It is triple initiator, double duelist. They are running Breach, Sova, Gecko. So good news is they are going to be able to get in very fast with a Phoenix Jet composition, combine it with triple initiator. It's great. Love
But
it.
the downside to that, though,
Bad
TTL, is
news.
they have to. That's the issue. They have to go in fast or they're really going to struggle to get into sight. And then because you have to go in fast, it's going to become predictable that that's what you're going to continuously do.
Yeah, and combine that with the fact that because they're going in basically every time immediately, they will have to, and then they'll have to try and hold it down against a squad that should be able to retake fairly quickly. I don't like making immediate predictions. I don't, especially at the high school level. But I feel like unless 2 individuals just absolutely pop off on the side of Shelby High, this is a game that's going the way of Archery Kell because their composition's a little bit more shored up. It feels like they're a little bit more comfortable with the newer agent.
Yep.
And given the fact that the game plans seem to be for Shelby High, let's pick the Waylay, and they can't do that immediately. I mean, they've had 28 hours. Maybe
that's
29,
wild. That's wild. Maybe 29.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go, though. Check this out. Moving quick already. Enemy trying to get some intel. It's going to be the Teho elimination onto the Midnight finds one, but they get traded out in an instant. It's a 4v3 here in the pistol round. Bloodbath and Garage.
Of all the things that could have gone wrong, I feel like that is at the top of the list. Just getting knocked down by a guided salvo without anybody swinging you, you shouldn't die to that. You've got a few seconds to get out of the way of that piece of utility, and you're down to Tharaz here on the Phoenix and the Gecko combined. I'm a little concerned. This is a concerning pistol round for me. It felt like that was a comfort pick into just confidence because you've got individual skill. But the fact this pistol round has already gone down to a 4v2, and there seemingly wasn't any speed necessitated around the team.
Yeah, and also just being taken out by that Teho ability, that's not something that happens particularly quickly. You kind of have to stand there and let that happen.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, and I feel like that I am a little bit worried about that. But it's the pistol round, maybe a little bit shaken up with the ability we weren't able to play Waylay. We had to reset the lobby. So a couple of kind of mental things over the physical. We've got the wall up. The smoke comes through. Beanie just, an inch away from finding that headshot through the spray. But unfortunately, just not going to be able to pick that up today. Illness, 21 HP in a dream. Still finds not only a kill, but the spike all the same.
That's it. That's the round.
That's good. That's round.
You're saving if you're wanting to hold on to the ghost, and at that point, just try and go for some kills. That is not an encouraging opening for Shelby Gold. If I am the team at the start of that round. Now, it could just be somebody was disconnected to start the round. They may have been alt-tabbed in their settings fixing something, not expecting guided salvo into 3 players. That's entirely likely. And that's honestly what I'm hoping for at this point. However, if Shelby Gold runs into this problem immediately in multiple rounds, that's where I'm starting to, if not getting more concerned.
Yeah, it's the pistol round, so okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's not a pistol round. Let's do it a third time, I think. Yeah, okay. Illness is going to be able to pick up a 3K there. It's going to be Audrey Kell Knights. I mean, this could be an ace off the board here. The flash comes out, the swing into the corner. Wide swing, flash themselves. Let's just see it. Give him the 5.
Oh, and Beanie's tucked into the corner. I think Beanie's been seen. There it is. Illness with an ace.
I mean,
talk about being sick.
Yeah, I was going to say it. No, I was going to say that. Talk about being sick. Illness living up to the namesake for sure. 7-0 on the board. Only one Elam in the pocket of Shelby Gold. And I mean, Dan, I feel definitely justified, if not vindicated, because what did I say at the very beginning of the broadcast? I said, Audrey Kell, they are a team to remember. This is a roster I recognize at the Scholastic level. That says a lot about a team and their ability to play, and they are proving that early here with an aggressive 2-0 lead.
Illness is Bond, James, 7-0 in the opening 2 rounds. 7 kills, 0 assists, 0 deaths, doing it all themselves, and it's seemingly working in their favor. A rush of mid, square into Illness
No way
again.
we do it again.
With weaponry. But the problem is, they've already used a lot of utility just to get out of mid, and they haven't even gotten a kill. Beanie avoids the stealth drone. I'm surprised they weren't scanned by that, because I definitely saw it. Guided salvo behind them as well. Wait a second. Are they sending it onto B with a mid presence?
They're gonna try here. I'm not sure they're gonna be able to pull it off, though. They step out of that smoke. Illness is waiting, but gets taken down by a spray and pray from Midnight. They're running Elam. Able to get some great value here. Claude on the high ground here. Shelby Gold, a couple of rough rounds in a row, but they are coming to life here in round number 3. They have a 4-2 advantage going in the Yoru fake. No value off it. Coming from backside, though, the Guardian in hand. Triple angle. They know where 1 is. This Omen currently unknown. Gonna give himself away with this incoming smoke, though.
Oh, is that Paranoia gonna catch out that Jet, though? It won't. First kill, though, for range. Maybe a second. Knew that Vel was next to them, but a Guardian in a 1 versus 3, and there's a shotgun available. You need 1 tap onto Beanie. You find that. You already see the drop the Phoenix. You can. Comes down to a 1 versus 1, but full HP for the Sova. They just need to swing with the pistol. That's amazing communication from Shelby. Understanding they have low HP on the last remaining member, and the only had the Bucky in their back pocket. Communicate, swap to the pistol, find the 1 or 2 shots you need. Great round overall from Shelby, but it was close at the end.
I mean, this is tough, though, right? Because that's a round that Shelby Gold statistically is supposed to win, and they won it with only 1 player on the board. I always talk about the importance of making a round expensive if you lose. You want to find 3 or more enemies, even if you're losing, to make the round expensive. They found 4, just 1 shy of that maximum number. Shelby Gold needs to win this round to really restabilize not only the round differential, but also the economy on their side to put themselves into a winning position. Going up mid did work once with a great shot from Midnight. Can they do it again? They sure can! Midnight, the guy of Vandal, one of my favorite skin sets in the game, really putting it to good use here, able to find Illness twice in a row. Range does not find the pick. Claude puts him down. 5-3 for round 4.
And this is a problem starting up for Audrey Kell because of how quickly they're being torn apart.
These body shots are wild.
But no idea. Anime finds the cover, though. Perfect scenario to build into if you're at this spot. And finds nothing. Anime finds a second on the round. Aftershock to maybe set up a third. Does turn in the correct direction. Anime's nuts. Oh, no.
Oh, okay, Assyria almost clutched this up last time. They know there's a Bucky on the board here. Wingman goes down, looking for the plant. That's not the end of the world, though. Assyria cannot overextend. You've got to play careful. The plant's just 400 credits. The round win matters much, much more. Crit condition. I'm amazed they're still alive. They're going to get the pick onto Assyria, though. Devastating. Devastating. 5 HP because every bullet to the body simply refused to kill. That is a round that Audrey Kell is absolutely going to want back. We're tied up 2-2.
I feel like that is the token Valorant round as well. Asteria in a 1 versus 2 hits 3 or 4 body/leg shots onto and then 1 taps Beanie Weenie above them. What a flick from Asteria. But I cannot believe you did not finish the kill onto who has found 2 kills in back-to-back rounds at the end of the round with a pistol while actively holding the primary weapon of a Bucky. I'm just adding things to the list of things that weren't supposed to happen today. Alongside triple initiator, double duelist, it's just the last 2 rounds.
I mean, it is just an impressive performance through and through thus far from our friend of Shelby Gold. A couple of rough rounds in a row. They said, hey, we are not letting that stop us quite yet. Claude able to find the first Elim again, turns it into a second. Double value. Midnight finds one of their own. Anime gets an elimination, but Archery Kell has no economy right now. A bit of overzealousness, perhaps overconfidence. After that ace round, Anime 5 HP, a Sheriff, and a Dream. 3 picks in a row, though, 2 to go.
Rolling Thunder's available.
He's
This is a
got the
reasonable
ult.
round. Both teams have a Rolling Thunder, and there's the availability of Thrash if needed. Anime is not even swapping to the Marshall. Problem is, time's now becoming a factor. Flash available, not using it. Midnight turns the wrong way. Timing maybe getting the better of them. They slipped the gap around through screens, getting towards the back of sight. Watch out for Beanie. Watch out for the timing of your opposing. Breach, no! Dizzy finds him. No kill for Anime. I cannot believe a missed Dizzy is how that round ends. I don't think he would have had it anyway.
I was gonna say that is a tough one because he slipped all the way into sight, like made it all the way there, was seconds away from having the pick onto Midnight, but unfortunately was gonna have to take down Beanie Weenie all the same. I think that's a loss regardless, but a very impressive round. It's a loss with only 2 players left standing. Look at the ultimates on the side of Audrey Kell here too. 3 in the pocket, 2 just around the corner, but nearly all 5 for Shelby Gold.
This is a dream scenario for Shelby. The only 2 rounds you've given up to Audrey Kell are pistol and conversion. You won bonus, albeit a little difficult. You won the full gun round, again, a little difficult. But you end up combining that with the follow round win. And From the Shadows is going to be used to escape that Rolling Thunder. What a play from the Omen on site. Baiting in range, no less, who finds a double. Talk about a dream start. That's one for Audrey Kell.
That is a beautiful performance for Audrey Kell. Almost able to find Claude finally taking down that power player on the side of Shelby Gold. 4-2 advantage. The Gecko is critical condition in range, able to find them in the blink of an eye. Midnight, only player left standing. Spike is up. 1 player down. The second just can't find it. And Audrey Kell going to be tied back up here with Shelby Gold 3-3.
I want to bring it up again. What a play from the Omen of Asteria.
Yep.
You're alone on the site. Rolling Thunder is used. If you stick around, you're dead. You're stunned, you've been elevated, you're a goner. Consciously uses the very rare, useful ultimate of From the Shadows to get into the top of A and A Heaven. Avoiding the site, playing retake and just giving it up. I will take giving up the site in favor of giving over a free kill and the site every day of the week. What a conscious play from Asteria.
Absolutely a beautiful play from Asteria, and there's something so fascinating. I had the opportunity to see Asteria last year, and if I'm not mistaken, the year prior as well. And Asteria has never been top of the leaderboard, but I say that in the best way because their consistency comes from those other performances like you talked about. It's those smokes, it's those paranoias, it's that team communication and support that Asteria continuously helps Audrey Kell with, and it never ceases to amaze me how much value one communicative player can have for a team.
Seems like Ascend onto B is indeed on the cards. A miss for that guided salvo as well makes things difficult. Range trying to swing into mid. 2 players waiting for him. They're not fully sending it onto B. They show the spike and disengage. What a unique play to get out, but this should be very easily communicated over to the rest of this Audrey Kell roster. Great dart. Now they're going into B. How in the world is this setup?
Oh, I mean, they're running out of time here as well. Only 45 seconds left on the clock. Now, luckily, that is a decent amount of time to work with. But wow, the Phoenix doesn't even get to open his wings before they are clipped by Range. That ultimate down the drain. Range still waiting. Flash out. No push through. Only 5v4, dude. I cannot believe. There we go. How long it's been since somebody went down.
Rolling Thunder's available. They may use that to deny the plant. Dimensional Drift for information as well. If the Dimensional Drift can get far enough in, they're in a great spot. Rolling Thunder trying to deny the plant. Will it get there in time to shut down Wingman? Yes. And because it hits, it'll completely annihilate Wingman alone. 1 for 1, both breaches pop up. But again, no active spike plant. They have to get it down in default. Maybe a spray, maybe the kill. Paranoia straight through. All they need to do is take out Midnight. They can't do so. Great coverage. Asteria, the 1 versus 1, loses their fight to Midnight. It is darkness upon them, but it's the Breach who shows up in tow. Lead back to Shelby Gold.
Just, I mean, absurd beyond belief here. What an insane value play from the side of Shelby Gold. Midnight living at the top of the leaderboard all the same. Check that out. Anime and Midnight both breaches, 9 eliminations and 5 deaths in their pocket. Pretty fascinating. We see the Midnight just carrying the team thus far as the rest of Audrey Kell does seem to beat out their counterpart on the side of Shelby Gold. So statistically, I think Audrey Kell's got a couple more eliminations, but it's the round wins that matter. And currently, Shelby Gold's up by 1.
And at that point, it was the individual play that came out from arguably costing the round. They tried to overcommit. with individuality. They couldn't swing as a team, and honestly, at the same time, there are rounds that you can play perfectly, but you are just going to be outmatched, whether it's by positioning or otherwise. I feel like that's one of them. Archery Kell in the 2v3 does not play that incorrectly. It just kind of gets the better of them. Great snake bite. Beanie drops into it and then shortly dies. Dream scenario for them. Claude staring at their toes? I'm not really.
Avoiding a flash in advance, perhaps.
Yeah. Talk about playing anti-flash.
5v2 here up through mid. I mean, they just got to be trying to go out in a blaze of glory. Except you flash both yourselves, you get caught up by another one. Look at him tucked in the corner. The snake bite's going to kill them both. Okay, the firewall up. Illness chooses not to use the util or doesn't have it in the pocket. No way. Phoenix makes it out. Claude going to stick around.
Problem is Spike's down.
Yep.
It's dropped as well. This is a done round. It's just a matter of how it ends, to be completely honest with you.
Also, the Raz is just using so much util.
And they die. Oh, well, no, they live for an extra couple seconds. But again, no Spike in their back pocket. It is a game of hide and go seek, and it's more just one of tag, because they know exactly where he is. How fast is the Phoenix? Speed numbers do not matter, but they have heard him. They should be able to kill him.
Nice
Great play. All in all, flawless round for Archery Kell, and just like that, we're tied back up.
We are tied all the way back up once again, 4-4. Insane that this started with a 2-0 lead, and then we have just been tied game over and over and over. A very strong performance from both teams, but eventually somebody's going to slip, and I'm really excited to see who that is. Only one ultimate used on the side of Shelby Gold. I believe 2, 3 have been extended from the side of Archery Kell. So a couple of ultimates used for Archery Kell to tie things back up, and they've got the Viper ult, and they're on the defense, which is, of course, the best time to use it.
Well, we saw the Rolling Thunder used to get in from Midnight, but because of how quickly they've gotten kills and deaths, they've basically been the entry on a breach. They've already built up almost another Rolling Thunder. Now, again, they're playing Omen on site here, but without that much help from Heaven because of all the smokes being put through. Watch out just for the gamble play on the back of screens. It's working. And hold up, Phoenix is stuck in A main. There are 4 players on the site, and none of them have the spike. Claude's realizing that case and wanted to go retrieve their Phoenix, but it's not going to matter. What in the world is this play from Shelby Gold? Talk about an oversight. This is just disastrous.
When I said one of the teams might slip, I didn't mean right now. I mean, that is tough. Shelby Gold really just a panicked scenario there. They get on the site. I really think they realized in that moment, oh my God, we don't have the spike. It was one of those scenarios where they just did not have it in their pocket when they needed it. It does end up costing them that round, and it puts Archery Kell in the lead for the first time since round 2.
And that was a conscious decision to leave the Phoenix behind. Usually you want to have the duelist in front, but the goal is to use the curveballs down that long angle to shut down any retake attempt. Problem is, you give the spike to your duelist for them to get in first, and then they promptly don't get in at all. It was, okay, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's hilarious watching it from this perspective. Seeing, wait, the duelist has the spike as intended, yet they aren't walking in at all. Asteria, what a play to walk straight through themselves, but Claude gets the kill first. Hero from the previous round finds nothing here, and a Rolling Thunder again finds an unoccupied A site. 0 for 2 on that use. Yeah, technically 1 for 2 because it forced out from the shadows last time.
Yeah, Claude has to have the most first bloods in game right now because it is just round after round they find that first elimination. And this will actually be the first round we see Archery Kell win when initially not having that numbers advantage if they're able to do so. It's only a 4-3 right now. I would actually really like to see the Viper's Pit come up from Illness. They wanted to get hyper aggressive with it, but instead they're going to choose to hold on to it just a bit more. Thug can knock it out of the way, and Range is going to be able to find that 3K here in round number 10, putting Archery Kell now 2 rounds in the lead for the first time once again since round 2.
First time that there was a real amazing play that was just shut down by inconvenient utility usage as well. Beanie Weenie was sitting down in hell, that little corner under the Heaven balcony, just next to A main, and they were not cleared at all. Nobody looked at them. However, because a flash that was intended for the back of screens landed onto them, they were flashed and shot to give away their position, thinking somebody was dropping on them, and then immediately died. Just inconvenient timing there for Beanie Weenie. Dream scenario, dream position, nothing they did wrong except for not play anti-flash, which even then you can't even expect they're going to flash you out of position. It just happens. It is what it is, as they say.
Hyper aggressive fault line, and I'm not super sure why, if I'm being honest. To fault line to go into the backside like that to give away your own intel, nobody pushing off the flash. I mean, maybe just to be a little scary, but I don't know.
I know exactly why. Look at where the
hit me.
Bottom mid. So you fault line one side, you stealth drone the other. if nobody pushes off the back of it, you take mid control.
This is true.
Now you know nobody's going
true.
mid. It is either A or B, and as of right now, B seems more than likely. But a late rotation here. It seems like
look at him
Flood is not a
waiting.
fan of this. What is going on? Everybody's pushed. Do they clear this? Let's play it. Let's play the game of do they clear this? I don't think they do.
Oh, check in the
do it,
corner.
so.
Do it. Amazing.
Wow. The small crouch on the approach there is
We
going
love
to take Etheria out of the way. 5-4 advantage here for Shelby Gold at a time where they really needed it most, but unfortunately, it is going to be taken away just as quickly as it was given. Tejo give it, and Tejo take it away. 6-4 on the board, 3 ults in the pocket, 2 from the side of Shelby Gold. Are they going to use either? They're not even going to get the chance. Beanie Weenie bullet to the brain. It is now a 3-2 advantage in favor of Rodrigo.
And Illness had such a quick rotation because they had bottom mid control. This round's over. It's done. Illness lines them both up. They had to go retrieve the spike again. Seemingly an important part of an objective-based first-person shooter, and one that seemingly escapes the Shelby Gold mind more often than not. Now, it was a kill that kind of set that up, and they were flashed in the process. So that one's not at least as much their bad. But going to retrieve that, not having safe protection on the back of sight, you had to cover the player grabbing the spike. A lot of things kind of all went wrong at the same time, and it has led Ardrikel to 4 consecutive rounds. Illness is 18-5.
I mean, Illness is just absolute maniac behavior thus far. A power play, if I have ever seen one, and still holding on to that Viper's Pit. But once again, I get it. It is a fascinating ultimate to use, and you've really got to know when to use it, or you're going to lose it. So check this out. All 5 players on the slow approach waiting. They saw the util used in that last round. They said, hey, we'll be patient. We don't mind.
Jump scare. Jump scare. 5 players. I love X-Ray Vision. It's so much fun as a caster.
It's so fun. It's the best.
Just getting to the back of sight, avoid Dizzy, Paranoia through off the back of the Aftershock, and everybody's dead. It's a round done. 4 versus 2. You've got 2 ultimates on the board, including Run It Back, which is used immediately. Do they clear out the breach? That's the question. Walk through Snakebite, don't clear breach. It really doesn't matter. 1 versus 2. Make it a 1 versus 3, actually.
Right.
It's going down. This is great for Marjorie. 8-4 at the half.
Range just really wrapping up powerfully there in a closing scenario just like that. 40 seconds. Side switch. I mean, they've got 40 seconds to talk about what do we do here, TTL, because it is a rough quintuple round.
Someone get the spike.
I'll say it. It cannot be Midnight the one destined to most of these openings. I'll even go back to a couple rounds ago, where Midnight was the opening fragger, and you don't have a duelist in front of them, even as a bait. I'll say it. Baiting your teammates is not a bad thing if it's a planned bait and they're communicated to.
I agree.
Don't do it without communicating to them while solo queuing my ranked games, because then I get furious.
Don't do it to me. It's okay if it's not
exactly.
me.
Yeah, it's only funny when it happens to somebody else, as a wise Peter Griffin once said. However, if you have that ability to bait out a teammate and even find a return frag, maybe on a teammate who's already used utility, or on a duelist who's already kind of expended most of their use in that round, it's perfectly fine. Is it a dream scenario? No, but it is better than not. And Range finds a double, 1 high and 1 low there through a main. Midnight, I said it, cannot be the only one popping off. They are the only one with a frag thus far, and it is a 4 versus 2. Both of them on low HP, no less.
The plant already down on the A site. Both players critical condition. You don't have a lot of utility here. I mean, do we go for a save? We never really see a save in a pistol round. Do you want to avoid giving them the ult orbs? Do you want to just try to be the hero? You know you're a bullet from death. Now you know where somebody is, but you've got to hit your shots here. And you don't. And you don't.
Oh, what a bait. Adam is such a good player.
Really.
They gotta say,
don't do it.
Into a knife. Rage finds a 4K in the knife round or in the pistol round and turns it into a knife round. I'm back to Counter-Strike with knife rounds and fighting sides. Oh my goodness gracious. I think that may be the straw that breaks some camel's back somewhere.
Oh, sure. I think we're definitely, I mean, 5-round differential, without a doubt, the furthest that we have seen so far. And I think, you know, they win that. Statistically, they're supposed to win this next one, and I've got a hunch they may be able to do so. Check this out. We got 4 rifles on the board.
me, this is something where there's no buy for Shelby Gold. They can't really afford to invest here either. If they find any kills here, I'm going to say it's a good round. This is not a round they're supposed to win. Arguably not even a round they're supposed to find a kill in. This is perfectly fine if you don't do a heck of a lot productively.
Absolutely agreed.
Flashed, paranoid, and then sent away from their own position off the back of the guided salvo. I mean, that just causes strain to my heart as a player who loves sitting in that corner. That's a flawless round. Now, again, it was expected. That's a round you're supposed to lose post-pistol round, especially if you don't invest anything. That's okay. This is not one you can even afford to lose, much less lose that many players.
Absolutely. You got to play it slow and steady to win the race here. You've got to make sure you can make this happen. But they bonus all 5 rifles up, which means we are here 1 round ahead of schedule, essentially, in regards to what we're trying to do with these teams. And I think 10 on the board, 23 and 6, by the way. If you flip those, it's my birthday, it's June 23rd, but that's only relevant to me. Illness right now dominating the matchup here through and through. Just a very powerful performance.
Midnight trying for an opening. Oh, the timing gets better of them.
If anyone breaks Illness, it's Midnight, though.
That's true. No, Recon Bolt actually found what it was looking for, but is that a bait? That's the real question. Illness is just happy to play slowly. What a flank, though. Quad just walked straight through B. No one was there, but now look at A. No one's there either for the defensive side. Dimensional Drift shows the fact that A, Heaven's clear. CT is as well. They know where the rotation's coming from, and both players are in a perfect position to deal with this. Fault line into a flash. You've got the bait coming through as well. It's a game of ring around the rosy with players looking at 180-degree angles both directions. Anime with a double, switching guns no less, and they know a third player's there. You have to expect that the last player's either on a flank or joining alongside them. This kill should answer that question for you, and had the wrong weapon in their back pocket. Thuraz in a 1 versus 2, and they've now been seen. They actually find a scoped kill onto Anime, makes it a possible round, and then they flash themselves. Oh no. Oh. That was what they were supposed to do.
That's wrong util.
Misclick happens to all of us. They at least get up to 68.
This round's over, man.
That is 2 shot, but Thuraz needs to realize there's a timer on this, despite the fact that it's only a spike tick. It's over. But hello?
Yeah. We don't even have time to pretend that it's not. I think it's going to be interesting, though. We're going to see Omen probably go down with the ship here, unless... No, wow. Even makes it out. Beautiful job. 11-4 on the board. Rifle in the pocket.
So, I don't hate the decision to go heal yourself there, but you cannot afford to go high ground. You know the
I think just bonus the rifle. That was over before it began. Like, just don't waste your util. Bonus the rifle. Call it a day.
Yeah, this is... Oh, no. 23 and 7 for Illness. 19 and 6 for Range. 15 and 7 for Anime, who, I'll remind you, was 9 and 5 at the top of the team's leaderboard. Remember that?
Diabolical. Yeah, that's actually diabolical. Illness already onto Midnight here in what could very likely be our penultimate round. It seems like Shelby Gold, they had a really strong start, but unfortunately just not able to find that spacing when they need to. Oh, Beanie. Beanie, baby. Asteria and Illness both fall. It's going to be Claude in the middle ground here. Could they go for an ace of their own? Spike plant down. You're racing against the clock.
Nope, you're racing against the savior. 1 versus 4 going into match point. You have very little credits, if any at all. I mean, the only thing you're doing here is either saving a gun or trying to help your KD. Guided salvo forces him back. Oh my goodness, what a guided salvo. You gain position, you force him to still float. Everybody's walking in. Somehow, the Yoru flashes themselves and their teammate, and neither of the first 2 players in find the kill, because of course not. And it's an 8-round game on match point. Okay, sure.
I've seen people come back from worse. It may be a tough start, but it does absolutely not have to be the end of the matchup here. I do think they've got almost every rifle in the pocket. I'm curious if the is going to buy up. They should be able to, but sometimes people get a little antsy about that, so I get the hesitancy to not want to do so. Well, there's only 1 round left. You got to throw everything you have at the wall and pray that it sticks, because it could be over here in just about 25 seconds.
I'm not even sure it'll last that long, depending on how quick they get in. Claude at least finds one in a fault line to protect their exit. Finds a second. Wait a second. They overcommit. could have been a 5 versus 3 and just a disengaged play. Instead, now everybody's swinging everything, it seems. A smoke to heaven to feign the fact they're not headed that direction. I don't think they know Anime's up here. If Sova doesn't clear this in the next 3 seconds, it's over, but now they have. Oh no. What a
just standing there waiting to get eliminated, and it wish granted, my friend. A powerful elimination does come through against them. 2 to 3, but 2 of the strongest players on the team left alive. Oh no. This could be a disaster.
I don't think he gave over a sound cue, but he still smoked it off. So Asteria is 1 ult point away from the shadows, which is a dream scenario in a 1 versus 2 as well, or what would be a 2 versus 2 if they find either kill. It really comes down to timing though. Anime needs this kill, can't even find it immediately. Midnight does swing, but they swing to their own demise. 1 versus 2 for Asteria, who did have from the shadows, but didn't even have time to set it up, much less use it. Beanie Weenie with the kill from above, and another round on the board. Step 1 of 8 to send this to OT here, Seth.
Yeah, just to send us to overtime, by the way, TTL. Great highlight there. I mean, it's just going to be 8 rounds, 7 left to put us into overtime, where you then have to win by 2. So it is a very long road ahead of them, but just because it's a long road doesn't mean it's an impossible one. I think it's very possible that we could see a bit of some aggressive success from our friends at Shelby Gold, depending on the first blood of this upcoming round.
I mean, it's the same case as the previous couple rounds, right? Where if first blood kind of escapes them, and they lose too much early, whether it's Midnight or Claude, either one of those are nightmare scenarios. And the issue is, for Shelby especially, they need one of those players to get aggressive early so they can find an opening pick, so they can have an impactful role in the early stage of the round. If they don't, then it may be a foregone conclusion already. From the shadows, on top of screen! What in the world is that? Midnight likely cut it down, and then rolling thunders in the back of everything, but a Viper Spit in the middle at least shuts down 1. Anime's gone through. Midnight's on basically 1 HP. A small breeze would knock them over, and it may very well do so in the next second or 2. But Midnight's playing the timing game now on the backside. The Viper Spit takes down Illness. Talk about an individual effort. Will gain all of their HP back because they haven't been hit by anything other than the Viper's Pit. And it's range in a 1 versus 2. Midnight with 7 bullets is on for the ace. But where is Range walked off to? They're on the far side of A Heaven. What is the looking at? No idea where Range is gone. No sound cue on the flash. And it's a 1v1.
He's not gonna fall for that.
Oh no.
Midnight v Range, but Range has almost no utility left. I think had 1 flash in the pocket, but I guess that's all you need. Yep, just the flashes left. Both of them though.
Midnight still isn't reloaded.
30
it's still
seconds
7
left.
bullets for them. But look at their aim. They've got a
They're about to get timing diffed. Yup.
No, they...
Attackers
Crosshair in the wrong spot at the right time. That is going to be a victory from Audrey Kell there. A beautiful performance at that, and one that they should be proud of. Now, a little bit closer than I think Audrey Kell would have wanted it to be as a team that we expect to do, you know, to live up to the highest of expectations. But a win is a win regardless. 13-5 on the board. And Illness just so much to do with it. 26-10 total, with Range 22-7.
Of all the things that were supposed to happen, triple duelist or triple initiator double duelist losing a game where it's triple initiator double duelist is probably at the top of the list. This is not a game where with that composition you're reasonably expected to win on a consistent basis. If it becomes just a game of deathmatch, maybe you've got a shot, but it seemed like Ardrey Kell was a little bit more prepped into this map. It was a map they were ready for. Their composition played perfectly into their own hands. I mean, you look at Asteria, and I don't even know what the name of Teo is. I'm not even going to try. They have a combined 16 assists. Anime has 8 more. Range has 5 more. Illness 6 more. I mean, it's basically Scottie Pippen as a 5-stack.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. Just about as impressive as you can get at a time like this. And you've got to tip your hat to them. Such a strong performance there in Valorant. Starts really strong, gets a little bit nerve-wracking in the middle there, but they are able to find that victory and success at the end of the day. So a big congratulations to Audrey Kell on that win. And folks, while Valorant may already, believe it or not, be over, we've got a whole lot coming at you guys still just around the corner. We've got Drone Rivalries, followed by Brawlhalla, followed by Marvel Rivals. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw it to a break. We're going to get Drone Rivalries ready for you guys. We'll be right back here with that in just a couple of minutes.
From Valorant.
No.
He's got a good strategy.
Is your character from Smash Bros?
No. Oh,
Jesus.
Is your character wearing something on their face?
Yeah. Good question. You only have 6 characters left. Correct. I have 8. Is there green in their image?
No.
Interesting.
Does your character have visible hair?
Yes. This is frustrating. I think I'm gonna have to go and eat it here. Is your character Doomfist?
No.
What the Sigma?
Is your character Tracer?
No. I have a 25% chance. Is your character Soldier 76?
Nope.
Oh no.
Is your character Soldier 76?
Yes!
You can tie the game.
You would pick either Reaper or Omen. I'm wondering if you went Sova. Is your character Omen?
No.
Oh, who was it?
Sova, yeah.
Ah!
Okay. Is your character male?
No. Does your character have blue in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a lot of characters standing.
Does your character have green?
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Oh no. This isn't good, Scoob. Is your character from Overwatch?
No. Does your character have healing properties?
No. Oh man. This is an even distribution between Valorant and Smash Bros. Is it Marth?
No.
Oh, why would I do it such an impulsive move like that?
Does your character happen to be Killjoy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ness.
No. 'Twas Mario.
Okay, now that's a crazy move. Nobody picks Mario.
We have to guess the Valorant agent on this screen.
Is the character female?
Does the character have a damaging ability?
Gecko?
Phoenix.
Is the character controller?
Is the character a duelist?
3, 2, 1.
Fade.
Is the character smoker?
Does the character have healing? Breach.
KO?
Is it deadlock?
Is it brimstone?
Okay. Now hold on. I can't think on the spot of the Valorant roster. I need a second.
Is it Cypher?
Is it Clove?
Does the character have any gadgets?
Does this character teleport?
Is it Yoru?
Is it Omen? I thought there was 2. I thought we were both gonna choose one of them, and it was gonna be a 50-50. Does this character have white and blue? I don't remember his name.
Is it Sova?
No.
Chamber. I was gonna call him the fancy Frenchman.
What's your favorite game all time?
Easy. Super Auto Pets. It's the perfect combination of cute animals, an excellent roguelike deck builder.
What's your favorite game?
Huh? Got The Last of Us, God of War.
Black Ops 2. You know, I started there. That's where I started trick shotting. From there, I started graphic designing, and I'm here today.
League of Legends, Apex Legends.
Favorite video game?
It's either Portal 2 or Baldur's Gate 3. The classic, that's what created physics engines. Baldur's Gate 3 is the amount of options you have.
WrestleMania, Super Monkey Ball.
I asked for one.
Roblox. Thank you, brother. I'm cooked.
What's your favorite game?
Oh my god, it's For Honor. I choose the best. The game is all about medieval swordplay. Not just medieval. It's got the knights. It's got the vampire. Nope, not vampires. Vikings. Marvel What If, but for nerds who like medieval times.
My favorite game is a game called Sunset Overdrive, a game that I played and I beat in a weekend because I just enjoyed it so much.
Minecraft. I'm playing with friends, Smash Bros. One of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy III. But currently, I think there's really only one game that deserves this title. Stick fight. Anyone can win at any time. It's pure chaos. I love it.
Persona 4 Golden. The music.
Early Overwatch and Fortnite because I was like a kid, no responsibilities, and I was also the best at both ever in the world.
Does your character have a light hair color?
I would consider that as a no.
Okay.
Is your character a Valorant agent?
No. I'm not cooking anything right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say use an element.
No, don't use an element. Does your character have a non-traditional hair color?
No. Is your character female?
Yes.
Okay. I think I might know.
Does your character have any blue in the picture?
Yes.
That's it.
Is your character Fade?
No.
I thought I was him. I am not him.
Is your character a male?
No. Raise.
No.
Okay, I might cry.
All right. Does your character look like they probably sitting in school reading books?
I don't think so.
They don't look studious?
They don't look studious. Is your character old?
No. Is that Anna?
No. I think you might be cooked. I think you might be a little cooked. Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the one I was gonna put down to.
Wait, so is your character Zero Suit Sim?
Yep. Wait, did we tie again?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to VESL Thursday Night Lights. I'm still Sepulins, joined by Time to Light. We're jumping into drone rivalries. Now, if you were here last week, drone rivalries was pretty interesting. We saw kind of the bags or cornhole equivalent of coding a drone to land in some certain pointed areas to do your best and see how far you could take it. But this time, things are being changed up quite a bit. We're seeing red light, green light instead, which I'm super excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I'm honestly just excited to see drone rivalries, period. I took a
Dude, it's
very
so
quick
fun.
sneak peek at last week, but I didn't get to experience it from the booth side of things because, 2 weeks ago, all we got was the introduction, which albeit that alone was pretty sick. But seeing it actually happen in front of us, see the occurrences now rather than just what could be occurrences, if you know what I mean, like 2 weeks ago. I'm excited. Red light, green light's also kind of fun. Squid Game kind of made it an impactful part of pop culture again, which I did not think red light, green light would make a comeback, but sure, that and flared jeans.
Hey, listen, I'm not complaining about either. I don't participate in either, but I'm not making complaints that they're back either. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be super exciting. And our first drone rivalries video is going to be Olympic High versus North Carolina Virtual Academy. So we're super excited to see what these teams are going to be doing. And I believe representing Olympic, we have Director. And from NC Virtual Academy, we have NCVA Saturn. So going head to head here, I'm super excited to see how they do, because I believe it's just whoever, if you complete the red light, green light, or whoever makes it further if you don't find it completed in time. So I think I'm excited to see how these players can do.
Well, let's see how it ends up going with Olympic High and NC Virtual Academy. Now, Saturn, we've seen them, I think, in other titles as well.
Correct.
On the Saturn side. So, I love the green lights on top of the drone. That's
green light.
Sick. This is so cool.
Red light.
So I believe they had to code when the light would change like that.
Red light.
And if it wasn't correct, that it would be messed up. But I mean, that was a pretty solid finish there from Olympic High. I believe every team only gets one run.
Green
so let's see if
light.
NCVA can actually hold up to this.
Red light.
Ooh, a little bit of an early
Green
stop. I don't think
light.
that matters. Better early than late.
Red light.
Okay.
Green light. Red light.
Oh no, NCVA, they stop quite a bit short. I fear about 100 points differential. So that is going to be a strong victory from Olympic High early on, who I believe had a really strong week last week as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and already the opening there, I feel like there's the little leeway between green and red that gives you the time to think about when you have to stop. And that's what can kind of cost you when you have those like minute details where small seconds or maybe small distance sectors. I don't even know what we're measuring in when it's
inches. That's in inches.
Okay, thank you. I was really confused.
Because it'll come down if they both don't complete. It'll come down to whoever's the least inches from the matchup. But let's see if two more teams can end up wrapping this up. We've got Cabarrus County Early Colleges versus Cedar Ridge High. Representing Cabarrus is going to be Cat Peaches, a very notorious STEM name here at VESL, versus Psycho King from Cedar Ridge. So let's see how these two do going head to head. Oh, and apparently Cedar Ridge did absolutely no testing before this. This is a note I've been given from our production team. They went in blind on this, so I'm excited to see if they can do well.
Green
Cabarrus
light.
County with some background behind them. How
Red
quickly
light.
can they get down? Nice stop.
Green
Good
light.
timing.
Okay, I
Red light.
agree. That's some
Green
that's
light.
some fast reaction
Red light.
time. But let's see if they make it all the way to the end, and they do not. 201 inches on the board. So let's see if Cedar Ridge can do better.
Green
They
light.
again did not test before going in.
Red light.
Again,
Oh.
it also can come
Green
down to like
light.
the tilt angle. You can see
Red
how
light.
much further forward Cedar Ridge was.
Green
That
light.
light was still great.
Red light.
That was a weird time, but it looks like Cedar Ridge
Oh,
is
but
gonna
that's
take-
an issue. If the light's the wrong color, I think you lose points.
Uh-oh.
Let me double check.
We may have... Are we going to get rulebooked week 2? I think they
When it's a
may be
green light, the
okay.
drone should move forward with a green LED light. When it's a red light, the drone should be still with a red LED light. The rules specify that it needs to be the proper color if you're moving or sitting still. And I believe I'm not positive on this, I believe it is a 10-inch differential if there is an error. And I would say an LED light being the wrong color, that's an error.
And there was like a 60-inch difference between the two.
So it probably saves it anyway, but scary to think about moving into the future.
Keep that in mind. There's still a lot of things that need to go well in the back end, because I thought the LED off the top of my head was controlled by like the VESL admins.
Oh
and
no,
it's
I
not
believe
based
they're
off the red light. I like that. Okay.
Let's see if our next
Even
schools,
I'm
Riverside High, Durham, and Esports Legends, can do better here. Esports Legends had a bit of a rough week in week number 1. They got 0 points in the cornhole situation, so they're definitely looking to come back a little bit stronger. They were a little too cautious in week 1. Their drone never made it far enough. Hopefully they're able to learn from that in week number 1 and do a little bit better here in week 2 of drone rivalries. It's going to be Riverside High to kick things off.
Green light.
Good start.
Red light.
Can again come down to tilt angle.
Green
How quickly you
light.
can get off with that green light.
Red light.
But it's a late
Green
reaction
light.
time, it seems.
Red
with the
light.
Green light. You can see how quickly that cost them.
Oh.
I think they're out. Uh-oh.
That's a lot of bruises and bumps, unfortunately. I believe that's going to be one technical error, subtracting 10 points from their total. So let's see if Esports Legends can do a little
Green
bit better here.
light.
And if they do, by the way, we haven't really talked about this.
Wow.
These
Red light.
winning teams, these
Green
winning teams
light.
are qualifying for state
Red light.
championships.
Green light. Red light.
Oh,
Yep, they got it.
no errors either. Esports Legends, they're able to qualify here in the red light, green light after a rough week number 1. Qualifying alongside them so far are Cedar Ridge High School and Olympic. All these teams going to be at state championships, and only one more to join them, TTL. We've got Philip O'Berry and Archery Kell going head-to-head for our last red light, green light of drone rivalries this week. Only one of these teams gets to make it.
It again comes down to like tilt angle when you're starting as well. That first green light is the longest, it seems, from what we've seen thus far. If you don't get that quick start, you don't lean forward enough. All you're really doing is keeping yourself hovered rather than moving yourself forward.
Right.
And how much speed you can gain. It also can come down to how quickly you can stop, because like you said, those technical errors can really cost you down the line when things come close in this bracket stage.
And let's see if our friends at Philip O'Berry or Archery Kell made any technical errors of their own. We're going to jump in and see one of these teams going to be the 4th and final team to qualify for state championships.
It really does come down to the start, especially for Philip O'Berry. Archery Kell, we've already seen them successful today.
Yep.
They're relying
Green
on Philip
light.
O'Berry to have a little less immediately.
Red light.
A
Green
slow
light.
and steady play here.
Red light.
Oh, bit
Green
of a bump
light.
through the red light.
Red light.
They're going to keep trying. Oh!
Ah,
I'm not sure.
maybe not a technical fault, but at the same time, you're still a distance away.
Green light.
Why does it say Archery Kell got a DQ? Uh-oh.
Red light.
Uh-oh, spoiler!
Uh-oh.
Spoiler!
Green light.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Red
no.
light.
Is
Uh-oh.
Archery Kell going to get DQ'd, though? 'Cause
Green
that, I mean, that's
light.
really going to
Red
matter
light.
at a time like this. That could be disastrous.
Yeah, they're out.
And that's it. They're burning through that red light. They are burning through that red light. So that is a tough scenario to be in. Unfortunately, Archery Kell will not qualify for state, but that means Philip O'Berry will. They'll be our 4th and final team to qualify for state championships. A big congratulations to them. Red light, green light. I'll be honest, I liked week 1. I loved week 2. That red light, green light was a lot of fun. I love the idea. I love the challenge. I'm excited to see what's gonna be in store in the coming weeks.
I have one complaint for our admins. There was not more. Why are we not seeing
real.
more them? Who cares about Brawlhalla? Let's take a look at our bracket here for drone rivalries. What we've already seen here are the results from week 2 with our red light, green light. It's Olympic High School and Cedar Ridge to move on alongside Esports Legends and Philip O'Berry. One thing that I really learned from this is A, the start matters. B, the color of the light is controlled by the teams. It's an extra background that maybe not having that time to flesh out. Most of them got the distance down. Most of them had the forward movement when the audible red light, green light was done. But if you have that forward movement when your visual light is not the correct color, that can either cost you or, as we saw in one case, entirely DQ you.
Yeah, the entire DQ there. If you break through the red light sequence too many times, it's a -10, but you're going to get to a point where too many -10s are really, really, really going to add up. So hopefully these teams are going to be able to reshape and qualify through a different event into STEM later through VESL this season. But I believe we're going to be jumping right into Brawlhalla, which is very exciting. We, per the usual, have 3 players at the ready. It looks like we've got, I want to make sure I get this right, Spark, Sonic 2007, and Trelamo going head to head to head. Now, of course, this will be 3 1v1s, though. This will not be a 1v1v1.
I feel like we should do the 1v1v1 just for my own entertainment. But it would be fun. I'm not that lucky.
Listen, I love me a 1v1v1, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I think it's chaos. I think it's exciting, but these players going to be going head to head. We've seen a lot of really powerful performances thus far in VESL. We're going to be seeing 3 brand new players. None of these players have made an appearance here on the main stage, at least this season. So let's see who's going to be able to live up to that expectation. I believe every player we're seeing tonight as well is 3-1 on the board. So a lot of winning with a little sprinkle of losing. The good news is anybody who loses today, not going to be losing for the first time.
No, this is also a decent record for all of them to have. Even if one of them or two of them go down to 3-2 or 4-2, one loss today is not a bad scenario. You'd love to come out of this 2-0. 1-1 is fine. You cannot afford to go 0-2 out though, because those standings will kind of flesh out towards week 5 and week 6. And the more dead neutral your 2 best of ones per week end up being, the less you will be able to escape with.
So kicking things off strong here. We're going to be seeing a very strong performance early, but no value quite yet. My notes on who's playing may be incorrect. I believe it is Mexican Plus on the board right now for Forbush High School. Oh, they're the same player. That's what I'm misunderstanding. They're the same player. Okay. Sonic 2007 is the same person.
Yep.
Chelimo is going to be coming through into that other position later, but this is Young Killa or Spark.
Yep. Spark versus Sonic 2007, aka Young Killa, literally, for Spark. That's their full name, not just the aka part. And then the Mexican Plus opponent. Already with a decent bit of damage and the opening onto Mexican Plus, but right now Spark does not have as much on the back end of their first stock as they like. That's
Yeah.
their real issue.
Oh,
Nice
oh.
damage again, can't finish it.
A lot of damage coming out early, but unfortunately that first stock still going to be on the board here. Sonic 2007 is going to be in a bit of an uncomfortable position. Trying to find that first stock, though, could tie things up. But like you said, they've already lost so much extra credit on their second that getting out of this deficit is not going to be easy.
It seems like they've overcommitted a lot to some of those up airs, kind of giving away positional priority. It almost lands them to the full knockoff.
Oh!
Second try, that time doesn't land for Spark. I don't know if that health bar can get any more red on either side. I didn't know there was that much RGB available.
There we go.
There we go.
That's going to be the second one down, though. So we've got Spark still on all 3 here, really doing a great job of taking that dominant lead early. And if Sonic wants to find that turnaround, it's going to be a bit of a tough scenario. And oh gosh, are they even going to get the chance? My goodness, just obliterated into the blast zone. A domination indeed, announcer. Couldn't have said it better myself. A great first win there for Young Killua.
Now, importantly enough, because this is a best of 3 with each individual round not carrying over, the fact that it's 3-0 is the exact same as if it's the closest ever 3-1 or 3-2.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's just 1-0. There are not 3 extra stocks available to Spark. It is just 1-0 in the best of 3. But I mean, that's a pretty good momentum building start of this best of 3, if I do say so myself, for Spark.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, this is a powerhouse performance thus far from the side of Young Killua, just really lining things up early. Spark able to find that value for early College East Blue. It's a dominant win in the first round, but we've seen players really shake things up in those second and third matchups. Hopefully, we're going to be able to see the same.
Yeah, and by no means is this the endearing factor to what game 2, if not best of 2 or best of 3 number 2 or best of 3 number 3 will lead. This is still just round 1. There is nothing that carries over apart from maybe some mental momentum.
Yeah, the mental's the issue for sure.
I mean, getting kind of knocked there 3-0 is really, really mentally booming, especially when you get down aired twice just off platform. That hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, when you get a little bit washed up like that, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be the scenario where you were keeping it really close, and then you get taken off stage, you get taken understage. It's not quite the pineapple from Smash Ultimate where you get stuck beneath the map, but it really did feel like it. So that is going to be a tough scenario to try and break out of.
And especially going into round 2 here of this best of 3, down 1-0, it's the start that has to go well for you. You can't even afford to give up a stock without knocking one over and maybe getting extra in the second. You have to bring something back yourself. It felt like there's a lot more composure from Spark, which was the endearing factor for them. On the other side, for Sonic, they just were not able to land some of their overcommitments. And overcommitments aren't bad, but only when you commit fully and land what you're committing to. That
right.
And it seems like, unsurprisingly, Spark is going to stick with the Hattori.
Yes, Spark sticks, but we're going to be seeing Thea once again. We've seen Thea every single week thus far, so we're going to be seeing it make an appearance once again, but this is the first time we're seeing somebody else behind the wheel, which could be quite exciting in its own right.
So with the Hattori, could it just be the speed that's the difference maker here?
I mean, in games like this, it usually tends to be.
See if that's the case again here for Spark. Start needs to be good for Sonic 2007 and already taking a decent bit off the platform. Kind of late with those turns as well. I've seen a lot where, especially in games like this, you can get caught out with maybe input lag, especially in games on Switch. We've seen that in Smash a lot. But here, it just seems like there's a lot more planning behind plays for Spark.
Without a doubt, Spark is playing the forefront of the game, not playing the reactionary play style that we tend to see from players somewhat often.
Say goodbye to one stock already for Sonic. 1-0 early, and they're taking more damage off the back of it, trying to go grab that sword. They're lucky.
Oh,
if they
not
stay
again.
On the platform. No, not again.
You know, as a wise man once said, it really do be like that sometimes, and I fear that it is going to be like that at a time like this. This is just a dominant performance from Spark this far. I mean, just wow! Just looking for the clip farm over and over. Blink and you miss it. Brawlhalla matchup number 1 has already come to a close.
Oh, I love that little celebration as well that Hattori's pulling off. The salt in the wound of the 3-0 twice over. 2-0 in this first best of 3. And it is a clean finish for early College East Blue and Spark individually. What an impressive opening.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's something about the first player to play every week that we see do well. It's whoever is in that first left spot that comes in typically 2-0s. And obviously, I mean, Spark on this Hattori knows what they're doing. They're comfortable. It's the same way we saw that Thea player whose name is escaping me last week and the week prior. It is just a beautiful performance through and through. But the good news is, if you are on the side of Sonic 2007, you're not out quite yet. You've got to play Trelamo at some point. Now, I don't know which one's next. It could be Trelamo versus Sonic, but regardless, Trelamo's entering the forefront.
Looks like it's Trelamo and Spark as game 2.
All right.
Sonic
all right.
7 and Trelamo will be our close. So
our close.
Good news for Spark will be you're able to carry some momentum between best of 3s, and this should happen within like the next minute and a half as well. This is the one thing I love about how we do Brawlhalla here. It is back to back to back in these best of 3s, and again, different from crew battles or even squad battles. I don't know exactly what it's called in Brawlhalla.
Crew battles.
Crew battles.
In most fighting games, it's safe to assume it's called crew battles.
Okay. Unlike crew battles, the stock not carrying over doesn't really help a player who may be dominant. But the fact that you're thinking about the fact, oh yeah, I could have carried like 6 stocks into round 3 there. It's pretty helpful in the back of your mind.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's that helpful nature that really tends to bleed through of, I won that first round, I can win this second round. It's that positive mental attitude, that positive mindset that can really go a long way for players at a time like this. So with Spark coming in, they're warmed up. They were able to win that last round that we saw, the last best of 3 in a 2-0 fashion. Hopefully they didn't burn at full thrusters though, and it could end up costing them later in the round. I'm hopeful they're able to play a little bit low and slow, a little bit more calculated, and come out dominant here in this upcoming matchup.
Yeah, this next matchup, if you're thinking about this from Spark as well, you're now 4-1, already great. And you're thinking, well,
very good.
I've already beat one guy who's 3-1 today. Might as well just double it up. Back to back, finish off a quick 2-0, twice over, finish your day, go home, eat some chicken parm or whatever is for dinner today after winning back-to-back Brawlhalla games. I don't know. I've got chicken parm waiting for me, so.
I wish. No, I do not have chicken parm waiting for me, but now you've got it in my brain, so maybe I'm going to change that later today. But regardless, we're getting the players ready as quickly as we can. I'm excited to see a little bit more of Spark. I mean, talk about just having a Spark out there on the battlefield. Is it a cheesy line, perhaps, but it is true. I mean, just a really good performance. Trelamo, though, coming in, going to be the one to try and shake up greatness here, see if they can knock that win-loss ratio for Spark down just a hair.
It also feels like if Trelamo has that background from our previous game, they may try and pick into one of our legends with a better kit to combat that. Dusk will be picked into here. I don't know why in the world does Spark change to Val?
Same reason I think we see people do it a lot in these moments like this. I think it might just be that nerve of, you just watched me play somebody else. I want to throw you off. I want to make it a little bit harder to predict what I'm going to do and how I'm going to play. Now, that's, of course, an assumption. I've never actually heard that confirmation from one of our players, but that's always how it seemed to me, at the least.
So YBN is a nickname of Young Killa, or just Spark as we'll refer to them as. Trelamo is conveniently Trelamo in-game, so that's helpful at bare minimum. Nobody's landed really anything to start here, though. Trelamo taking a little bit and then dishing it right back. This feels like a little bit more of an even matchup, especially with the changeover for Spark.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is going to be a bit of a closer matchup early on here. We see Spark trying to find that damage. Can't quite get that offstage playstyle. And Dusk, speaking of playstyle, it's one of my favorites here in the game. An up-close brawler, but has that, this is very Pac-Man or Rob related for those who come from Smash Ultimate as myself. But right now, not able to get a lot done with it quite yet. Trelamo in. Talk about a red health bar right now.
Hello.
And there it is. Spark able to find that first strike once again. Not slowing down for a minute.
The slight change for Spark in their small playstyle, they haven't tried to follow up on as many hits as we saw in the previous couple of rounds because they're on a slightly different equipped legend. It's not completely different, just a small lack of speed is kind of made up for in the damage they output, which is kind of what we saw in how quickly that first knock was finished. But they may be gone as well if they can't get over, and they will. Oh, maybe.
Ooh, get up and over. We could see Spark losing their first stock here on stream. It was a back-to-back domination there in game number one, but the secondary character just does not have that same swagger that we saw earlier, and Dusk gonna be able to find it, right? No way.
How do you avoid that follow-up as well? It just seems like it's a second time Spark has baited out and returned to the platform. There we go. Spark has lost a stock. It only took him 3 full rounds, or 2.5.
2.5 rounds to lose that first stock, and now we're going to be tied up 2-2, but all that extra credit that Spark has found is really going to be coming in handy. They take Dusk off stage, or Trelamo, excuse me, on the Dusk. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful throw into the sword. The damage rack up is nearly infinite. Dusk tries to go for the wall slow wall jump, excuse me. Gets caught out with that grab into down throw into back air here, and that should be the stock. That is going to be one left on board for Dusk here in their first matchup.
Oh. Did you see what Spark just did? Spark just threw the sword off the map.
Yeah, they're feeling confident.
I love that. Swap back to the, I don't even know what you call it.
The gauntlets?
Yeah, that. Trelamo just kind of scrambling, and because of how quickly Spark was able to finish off that second stock, they really didn't take all that much damage like they dealt out before losing their own first. A lot better of a start for Trelamo, but they haven't been able to finish it. Here, they need to finish one quickly. Are they able to get back? Yes, they will.
Able to get back on the board here. Trelamo trying to find that second stock, and I think really getting close to doing so, just like that. A beautiful performance. They're going to be able to tie things up here 1-1. All of a sudden, a player that we thought was really going to be able to dominate this performance thus far, a little bit shakier on what we're seeing.
But Spark did not do a heck of a lot between losing their second.
No, really not.
Giving over that second as well. If Trelamo can find at least something to start off this second stage, they're in a much better spot, but it really comes down to how quickly Spark can dish out the damage they followed up on the previous couple rounds. They really haven't done so. That bar has stayed yellow for Trelamo for basically the last 30-45 seconds.
Trelamo all the way down into the red here on their opponents, but still in the yellow themselves. Oh, okay, a good turnaround, trying to get a little bit closer to the end of the matchup, but still, no
super powerful justification here, if I'm being honest. Nobody really taking the lead yet. The next combo could be the last one. Both players rapidly approaching their last stock territory, last stock, last hit. Trelamo has him on the ropes, has to go up and through. Spark has to drop because they're running out of stamina in the air, and that could be it, will be it. A beautiful performance from Trelamo to turn around what started as a dominant matchup against them to put their first win of the night on the board.
It looked like the old game of JLI. You ever heard of JLI?
No,
I don't know if it's exactly pronounced. So it's where you have like this thing connected to your hand where you just kind of throw a ball off the wall on the I don't even know how to explain it to somebody who has not seen it. But
I
Dusk
think I know what you're talking
grabbing
about,
down-
crazily enough.
Yeah, it's the little like curled thing that you equip to your hand and you throw it off the wall.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Google JLI, JAIALAI, 2 words. Long story short, that's what it looked like when Dusk just kind of grabbed and threw off the back. It's called a rebote for all of you who ever.
Oh my
watched
goodness.
before.
Look at this guy. He's going crazy over here.
It's the only niche sport that I know off the top of my head. But it
That's
was a
impressive.
clean finish for Dusk, not giving up a lot of damage and kind of keeping things at arm's length when there wasn't that extra melee attack available for Spark. Love the way they kept their distance, keeping track of that individual play, but also, and importantly enough, just not allowing those combos to hit and not overcommitting to when Spark would fake the fact they're going to land on the close side of the platform and then up air a couple times to the other side. It looked a lot better later on for Tremo, but they need to start better in this round too because I feel like Spark's going to learn very easily.
I think Spark's absolutely going to attack, and I think Spark's also going to be going back to the first character that we saw them on earlier today. I think there was a little bit of, not overconfidence, but I think it really was that you saw me play already. I want to try something else. It didn't work. They're going to try to return to the forefront here with that first character, if I had to guess.
It would surprise me, especially because they kind of lacked the speed they were looking for to finish off the combos they started. That was the main problem that we saw for Spark, not being able to gain back some damage towards the later stage of their own stocks. Is finding some combos, or at least the start of some combos, and just not having the speed to get over there. Again, different slight kit combo, not being able to land some of those quick melees. That can be the difference maker, and it felt like it was here.
The difference maker can come down to a matter of who hit their last shot and who didn't. And I think we saw a really good example of that in that previous matchup. We saw it go down to last stock, last hit scenario. And as we jump into the second matchup of this best of 3, will it be a 2-0 in favor of Trelamo? But there it is, as predicted, Spark back on the Hattori.
Just look at the kit. Bottom left of your screen, bottom right of the kit selector. Look at the speed difference. That should be what can change this game over. It feels like the damage output and the shielding is very similar. The only thing is crit looks a little bit better for Dusk, and that could be the difference maker. If the Hattori for Spark cannot find the speed they're looking for, EC East could finish 1-1 today.
Especially with the way that Dusk tends to play is really kind of crit focused. They go for those larger hit combos when you're least expecting it. They try to find that value early, and nobody able to pick up value quite yet. A lot of air dodging, a lot of dancing around each other before Trelamo is able to find that first combo. Already into the yellow here on the side of Spark.
And the one thing that Spark really wants with this speed difference is being able to escape those combos if they've got the speed to even get out while midair. That is not the case there. Trelamo already starting off well, doesn't allow Spark to even fully regain platform control, and a little bit of an overcommitment again. Same way we finished off round 1 is how we start off round 2. Spark down 1-0.
Spark down 1-0 at a pivotal moment here. It's going to be, look at the patience. They both kind of bite their tongue for a moment, not sure who wants to go for the approach, because Spark's original playstyle of going in for that hyper-aggressive approach just doesn't work as well against Dusk's close to mid-range player here, their fighter. But the pressure is on regardless. Trelamo taken off the side of stage here. Oh, beautiful spike off into the bottom left blast zone. Will not be able to make it back up, and blink and you miss it. We're tied back up 2-2.
Thought Spark was accidentally trying to send one off, but it was a weird time of timing for Spark. And it also comes down to how quickly they can try and regain more on the tail end of their second stock.
Ooh, oh, Spark really, I mean, just so much more comfortable in this character so clearly.
Spark tries to send off Trelamo, but at the same time, if they can at least gain positional control on the tail end of this platform, Trelamo seems to be fine just kind of sending Spark off into the distance. We've seen it a couple times already, but they don't have that extra melee attack, and that's really what's cost them here. Spark sent off, and oh, there's exactly what Trelamo was looking for. Grab that, send them off immediately. Perfect timing for Trelamo.
I mean, just a disgusting combo time and time again, and it just seems like we're seeing Spark not be able to adapt to it fast enough. They get caught out by that play from Trelamo, who's not slowing down for an instant. Oh my goodness, this might be a 0 to death. Do they touch the ground here? And they're okay, already negated the 0 to death.
Would have been a funny way to finish off.
We saw 2 last week, I forgot to tell you that.
How in the world did 2 happen in
Dude, it was wild. It was wild. Oh, there we go. Speaking of wild, tied back up 1-1 here. If Trelamo can win this, we go right into series number 3. But if Spark can find this, we'll go into game 3 of set number 2.
It seems like Trelamo has the better positioning right now. They've taken a lot less damage in this stock rotation, and it just does not seem like Spark is able to finish off what they're even trying to start. Overcommit to another combo. Trelamo almost found the grab. They tried it again as well. This is just exactly what Trelamo's looking for.
I think Trelamo might have this in the bag, unless Spark can hit one of those combos.
There it is! There it is!
Last zone just can't find it, and Trelamo emerges victorious in their first game of the evening, their first set of the evening. That's going to be a very strong performance through and through. Talk about a power player if I've ever seen one. Hopefully Trelamo can carry that into the 3rd series as well.
You know, Dusk was kind of setting that up. The Dusk character was setting that up basically every single time that Hattori went midair. Dusk was looking for the grab, and Trelamo, knowing their character to perfection, knowing their legend to perfection, is exactly what we're looking for when we see these Brawlhalla best of 3s, because sometimes you'll see players who have a good experience, if not great experience, across multiple different legends. But Trelamo was not perturbed by the swap to the Hattori, did not care in the slightest, and just kept going for what was working. As engineers say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Put them in the air, grab them, send them off into the distance. And, I mean, 2 close rounds in a best of 3.
Yeah,
both of them finished the same direction. And they do so in different ways. Trelamo looked a lot better to start off this second round than they did back in round 1. Maybe that confidence kind of went by the wayside for Spark, and understandably so. We saw how round 1 even started, much less finished. And it just looked a lot cleaner in round 2. Maybe that learning experience was better, especially against the Hattori.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very powerful performance there. The Hattori works, I think, a wee bit better, but unfortunately just not better enough to find that victory there. So going into matchup number 3, we've got Trelamo, who's currently 1-0, versus Sonic 2007, who's 0-1. So can Sonic beat the person that beat the person that beat them? Well, only one way to find out.
In that case, we just have a 1-for-1 tie, and this day would be, I'm not going to say
no, not null and void, but
yeah, very close. I mean, that just shows how close some of these games can be, though, where you're looking at 2 individuals that seemingly stepped up against each other, and yet we're not even writing off Sonic because it's a different play style to how Trello it could be a game of rock, paper, scissors, where Rock will easily beat Paper. Paper is losing this. Paper will easily beat Rock. Rock is easily beating Scissors, and Scissors is going to knock out Paper.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, honestly. I think you said it best. I mean, it is just going to be that scenario of every player that comes to the table plays differently. Each champion, each legend you see has a play style, has a kit, has an expectation. But what I really do like about Brawlhalla compared to other fighting games, and mind you, I come from like Injustice and Mortal Kombat, where if you're playing a character, you're going to do it this way. That is literally that's how those games tend to work, which is why I happen to be so good at it, because it's the same combos over and over and over. But a game like Brawlhalla, there's an expectation that you don't have to meet. You can change the play style, you can spice things up, you can get weird with it, which is when players tend to do their best. Now, Sonic's #1 hurdle right now is not beating themselves up over that loss. They need to come in with a clean mindset, a strong performance, and an urge or a yearn to win, and I really think they might be able to do so. But Trelamo really showing up and showing off tonight as well.
And against a individual who kind of showed up and showed off already in the first best of 3.
Yeah.
Real mistake-free first round, and it seems like that confidence maybe bridged the line between that and arrogance in our second best of 3. Again, the only difference in a 2-round best of 3 was those two stocks, and both of them were fairly close to finishing in either direction. But it seemed like Trelamo has a very specific game plan, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pick into the exact same legend and move into the exact same strat as we just saw. It is knock up, try and finish with that grab and send. It just seems like they're going for a golf swing, and in back-to-back rounds in that best of 3, they had like 335-yard drives. So great finishes, or arguably a great start depending on how you look at golf holes.
Yeah, I mean, a great start regardless, I think, but these players seem to really be milling over who they'd like to bring to the table. I did get confirmation that they have finally made those choices that they're looking for. So let's see what those choices are and just how impactful they may be. Okay, so Chewbacca on the board, Dusk out the window here, and it looks like Orion returning once again for our friend Sonic 2007.
Of all the changes for Sonic, I feel like they would swap up a little bit if they saw the Chewbacca on the other side, but I like the change for Trelamo, although it does slightly scare me. We could see exactly what we just saw in the previous round, where Spark was seemingly comfortable. They didn't need to overcommit to that same. However, Trelamo already taking so much.
A lot of damage out the gate here, but a powerful performance regardless, and let's see how these players can play out if this series continues. Trelamo on the Chewbacca, I just can't get over it.
I love the selection, but it's a surprising one, and it seems like it's fairly well changed over for Sonic 2007, who is comfortably played for those closed range attacks. It's working perfectly fine for him. And Trelamo can find damage to return. Sonic 2007, we've seen them have difficulties get back on. That's going to continue here, but not to their immediate elimination, at least not till the third time. Trelamo knocked them off on 2 separate occasions, and now that Sonic 2007 is back, they seemingly are perfectly comfortable. How much more can... Oh, never mind. I was about to say how much more can Trelamo find. The answer, it seems, is very little. So it does come down to that changeover at the tail end of each stock. Either way, basically back to neutral. Trelamo, again, taking most of the early damage because they're on the Chewbacca. They're trying to keep their distance, and it just does not seem like Sonic 2007 wants to give them any, if at all. Good readjustment back to the platform there for Sonic 2007, who, again, has that abbreviation MEX. They are in-game Mexican Plus, if anybody's confused as to what I'm referring to. Trelamo, again, playing good for distance, and Sonic 2007 closes it. Looking the wrong way can easily cost you. Here's Trelamo again with more damage, but not being able to find the finishing blow they're looking for. Those combos can be a lot more difficult when you don't have those melee possibilities, I say, until Sonic gets sent off the map. Decent start for Trelamo after that second stock expired. They need to be able to finish it off while still dealing more and more damage. They cannot afford to give over yet another. Great bait to grab the rifle. And more damage without even losing that second stock. Seemingly the weakness finally showing for Sonic 2007, who has not been able to finish off the red health bar of Trelamo. Victory! Grenades miss, but they at least force one off. That's perfectly fine at the tail end of things for Trelamo. A little concerning at the tail end of their first stock, but the second one didn't even escape them. And it seemed like Sonic 2007 on the Orion just couldn't finish off what they were already planning on putting through. Basically, every time we saw them go for those close range engagements, the Chewbacca of Trelamo would change to the other side and just not give them that ability to play for the melee. All in all, better finish, it seems, for Trelamo compared to what we saw in their first or second round of that best of 3. But all in all, perfectly fine. Sonic 2007, still very much in this best of 3. They showed a lot the early stage of that first stock. The second one's really where things kind of fell apart for them. And again, it comes down to the learning factor of Trelamo. If they can find that early engagement, if they can find that finishing blow they're looking for, then I don't know if there's much that Sonic 2007 can find. Already up 1-0 here in the second best of 3. And losing the first best of 3 early for Sonic 2007, kind of mental boom. But there's still a lot more they can learn from. There's still a lot more time. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a changeover, because it just doesn't seem like Orion is the selection tool they're looking for. It also comes down to Trelamo changing from the Chewbacca maybe back to what we saw earlier with the Dusk. I wouldn't hate that decision. but it doesn't look like I'm going to get that benefit. Orion being picked back into here. If I'm Trelamo, I'm going right back to Chewbacca. Same exact game plan as I talked with Sep about earlier. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't really need to. Does seem like Trelamo wants to take an extra second to pick. Maybe a background conversation with coach behind him. I'd still go with Chewbacca here. Changing back to the Dusk is probably fine. Orion's a fairly balanced kit with the melees. Wouldn't fully surprise me, but no, they're going to go right back to Chewbacca. No real reason to change. They've already got the damage output they need. They've got the composition in terms of the kit they need. No reason to overthink it. I feel like this could be a fairly quick end. If I'm Trelamo, Orion needs to be able to shore up the ability to turn in melee. If they can find that, they're fine. They also can't afford to give over that expert. If they do, it's a quick finish. Trelamo, we're down to Small Fortress of Lions, Small World's End, or Most Isley Space Point. The answer seemingly will be Small World's End. I don't think the platforms really matter all that much for Orion. It could help Chewbacca a little bit, just because of that distance ability, but it doesn't look like on Small World's End there's any elevated platforms to benefit from. So it will come down to the start here for Spark, and oh, they've already lost that melee ability. Trelamo trying to finish this ball off quickly. They grab the distance rifle as well. That has slightly changed compared to our previous platform, but it may not particularly matter. And is Trelamo just kind of messing with Spark? Grenade lands. Second one, that one just barely misses. Going for more. That one doesn't land, at least not as successfully as the previous two. But yeah, already going off the map is Sonic 2007. This is what we call not the dream scenario for the individual. And losing most of their second stock already without dealing much damage whatsoever to Trelamo. Good return. Grenade lands again. Trelamo going for the combos. Almost lands another, but at least a return for a combo for Spark. They just cannot afford to give over anything more, and they've been caught over committing. Almost caught sending themselves off the map. Trelamo goes to re-engage. They try to throw the rifle to send Sonic, off that map. They can't finish their final blow either. But I don't know if it's going to matter with Sonic's health bar getting into the very deep red. Blood red, if you will. And they run out of that second stock. Trelamo still with their third stock all still intact. Spark overcommitting again. Trelamo almost sends them off the map with that clarinet, but they miss finally. And Sonic should be able to finish this, right? Maybe?
I think so. I'd be surprised if this isn't going to be happening here, though. But the clarinet, first and foremost, hilarious. Every time I see it, I think it's a super funny item to be using. But Trelamo, in such a dominant performance here, I'm just not sure what can be done to stop the momentum that's so heavily swung.
I don't think there's going to be a way to stop it, unfortunately. Trelamo has been on red health for seemingly a calendar year at this point, and Sonic hasn't even been able to bridge the gap until just now. There's still a stock and a half advantage for Trelamo, and they have been the runners of how this second round, has played out. At least regaining, but only for so long. Imagine the clarinet.
Ooh, that's it.
I was about to say, imagine the clarinet lands, and that's how it ends. Turns out it's the down air from just off the ball.
It's the boot to the face that puts it away there. Trelamo, a really solid performance there in the second matchup. So I think, the Chewbacca is a weird pick, caught me a little off guard, but clearly I didn't know what I was talking about because this has been quite the opening.
It also seemed like the Orion was just the wrong selection to counter that. Now, in the second round, we saw the full pick phase go through where Chewbacca was picked last. It seemed like Sonic 2007 was comfortable in the Orion, but it just does not look like Orion can match up against Chewbacca. I don't really care who's on either side of that. Chewbacca has the better overall kit. Melee potential, maybe not so much, but being able to swap off for a lot more distance fighting, and Trelamo being comfortable for that distance is just a better matchup at the end.
Yeah, without a doubt. Trelamo just does well there in the second matchup, does well in the third, and I believe that wraps up Brawlhalla. Am I wrong in saying that? That does bring us to a close in Brawlhalla. So I think a big congratulations to all three players we saw tonight. Some very strong performances, some players that have a lot to work on moving into the later weeks, but what is a season 4 if not to help you improve in matchups just like that? So we've got Marvel Rivals going at you guys in just a couple of minutes, so we're going to go ahead, throw it to a break, get those teams ready, and we'll see you right back here with some Marvel Rivals in just a couple of minutes.
strategy. Is your character from Smash Bros? No. Oh, Jesus. Is your character wearing something on their face? Yeah. Good question. You only have 6 characters left. Correct. I have 8. Is there green in their image? No. Interesting. Does your character have visible hair? Yes. Ah, this is frustrating. I think I'm gonna have to go and eat it here. Is your character Doomfist? No. What the Sigma? Is your character Tracer? No. I have a 25% chance. Is your character Soldier 76? Nope. Oh no. Is your character Soldier 76? Yes! You can tie the game. You would pick either Reaper or Omen. I'm wondering if you went Sova. Is your character Omen? No. Oh, who was it?
Sova, yeah.
Ah! Okay. Is your character male? No. Does your character have blue in the picture? Yes. Okay, well, there's a lot of characters standing. Does your character have green? Mm-hmm. They do. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. This isn't good, Scoob. Is your character from Overwatch? No. Does your character have healing properties? No. Oh, man. This is an even distribution between Valorant and Smash Bros. Is it Marth? No. Oh, why would I do such an impulsive move like that? Does your character happen to be Killjoy? Yeah. Yeah. Ness. No. 'Twas Mario. Okay, now that's a crazy move. Nobody picks Mario.
We have to guess the Valorant agent on this screen.
Is the character a female?
Does the character have a damaging ability?
Gecko?
Phoenix.
Is the character a solar?
Is the character a duelist?
3, 2, 1.
Fade.
Is the character a smoker?
Does the character have healing?
Breach.
KO?
Is it Deadlock?
Is it Brimstone?
Okay. Now hold on. I can't think on the spot of the Valorant roster. I need a second.
Is it Cypher?
Is it Clove?
Does the character have any gadgets?
Does this character teleport?
Is it Yoru?
Is it Omen? I thought there was 2. I thought we were both gonna choose one of them, and it was gonna be a 50-50. Does this character have white and blue? I don't remember his name.
Is it Sova?
No.
Chamber. I was gonna call him the fancy Frenchman.
What's your favorite game? All time.
Easy. Super Auto Pets. It's the perfect combination of cute animals, an excellent roguelike deck builder.
What's your favorite game?
Huh? Got The Last of Us, God of War.
Black Ops 2. You know, I started there. That's where I started trick shotting. From there, I started graphic designing, and I'm here today.
League of Legends, Apex Legends.
Favorite video game?
It's either Portal 2 or Baldur's Gate 3. The classic, that's what created physics engines. Baldur's Gate 3 is the amount of options you have.
WrestleMania, Super Monkey Ball.
I asked for one.
Roblox. Thank you, brother.
I'm cooked. What's your favorite game?
Oh my god, it's For Honor. I choose the best. The game is all about medieval swordplay. Not just medieval. It's got the knights. It's got the vampire. Nope, not vampires. Vikings. Marvel What If, but for nerds who like medieval times.
My favorite game is a game called Sunset Overdrive, a game that I played and I beat in a weekend because I just enjoyed it so much.
Minecraft. I'm playing with friends, Smash Bros. One of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy 3. But currently, I think there's really only one game that deserves this title. Stick fight. Anyone can win at any time. It's pure chaos. I love it.
Persona.
Persona
4 Golden. The music.
Early Overwatch and Fortnite because I was like a kid, no responsibilities, and I was.
Is your character male? Yes. Is your character from Valorant? No. He's got a good strategy. Is your character from Smash Bros? No. Oh, Jesus. Is your character wearing something on their face? Yeah. Good question. You only have 6 characters left. Correct. I have 8. Is there green in their image? No. Interesting. Does your character have visible hair? Yes.
This is frustrating. I think I'm gonna have to go and eat it here. He's gonna be blindly ranking 6 Marvel rival characters. Your first one, Adam.
Ooh, Adam. Okay, I don't play him a lot, but from what I've seen, you know, he's very good. I think the fact that he can regen his teammates, especially with his ult, very good. Especially if he teams up with Mantis Star-Lord and they get to also revive on their own. That's pretty good. I'm gonna honestly put him at B tier. I think he's a solid healer. I know there are better healers out there, but I think at B is pretty solid.
Okay, that's higher than what I would have put him. Your next one is Ella.
Oh, okay. I enjoy playing a little Hela. I know it's a little controversial.
You're not gonna put it lower, are you?
No. Even with her debuff, she's still crazy good. So I think I'm gonna put her at A tier.
Ooh, let's go Bucky.
Oh, good. I play him on occasion, but good. I'm not too big on his playstyle. Oh, good. So I'm gonna put him at D tier.
Wow. Let's switch up the role and you get Groot.
Ooh, okay, Groot. A fan favorite, I know. I think I'm gonna put him green for green at C tier.
Looking at these characters, I don't know, man. It's Spider-Man.
This is a tough one. I think not everyone plays him well. I've played with a bunch of terrible Spider-Man.
A lot.
So I think I have to put him at E tier.
You're not gonna like this one. Black Widow.
Well, it's red for red. I hate my list, actually.
What would you change? That's a pretty good list. Now comment down below where you would rank these characters.
He's going to be blind ranking 6 Marvel Rivals characters. First one, Thor.
He's okay.
We're gonna be guessing the Marvel Rivals character. Can you? Are they a tank?
I'm Groot.
Is the color red in their costume?
How many of them have red in their costume?
Yeah, not bad. No, not bad. No, you gotta get a little bit.
Is it Bruce?
Is he ranged?
I feel like there's only one tank left. Is it Venom? Yeah, there was only one tank left.
Would you recommend this program to other students? If so, why?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, absolutely.
Highly recommend it.
Getting hands-on experience and competing with people alike, build your character and like your skill set.
Yes, for sure, hands down. They will see a growth within their kids. They have opened up as individuals.
Teaches them certain skills, gives them opportunities that are good for college.
It's so open and evolving for anyone.
Atmosphere is amazing, what they do for the kids.
Gives such an important outlet to put that gaming experience and skill into.
I've been all over the block when it comes to esports, whether it's collegiate, professional, and then here for high school. There's just nothing else like it.
Can you guess the Marvel Rivals character before we do?
Probably. Is it commonly banned?
Are they human?
Do they use a physical weapon?
Is it Black Widow? I'm just gonna keep throwing out people. Is it Bucky?
I'm just gonna keep throwing out people.
At this point.
Okay, so we're gonna spell 1 to 10.
I think I have a guess for my next one, and again, I'm just gonna go for a person, so know that right off the bat. I'm not gonna be giving you any information except knocking one person off.
This kid's not helping me at all. This man's about to go down that whole roster.
Do you count Black Panthers like Javelin? They're female, yeah.
Oh, okay, we about to go through the whole female. We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character as it zooms out. Buzz? Ooh, Strange?
Is it Moon Knight?
Buzz, Cloak, and
Dagger.
Alright.
That's the craziest zoom out, dude. Buzz, Strange?
I feel like I should know that.
You should know that. I think I know who that is, but I want to zoom on that. Buzz?
Peter Quill, Star-Lord.
Alright, let's go.
Nah, that's real. Buzz, Namor?
Oh my god, wait. Now I'm cooked. Buzz, Luna. Wait, who's... Oh my god, who is that?
Magic?
It is Magic. See the
What? More blue? No. Buzz. Thor?
Fear Magneto.
It would be
That's
Mag.
the go.
That was my first.
It's his little buckle thing. Guess the Marvel Rivals character. Can you?
Luna Snow.
Penny?
Do you like tanks?
Do you like tank is a yes or no question.
That is a yes or no question. Do you like tanks?
Are they a human? That's a good question. That's a good question.
How many non-humans are in the game?
A lot. Like Thor's not a human. He's Asgardian. Hela's not a human. She's a goddess. Storm's a goddess. Oh,
he got me there. He got me there.
Rain. Do they use both hands when they primary fire? Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but she uses both hands.
Keep that in. Keep that in. Keep that in.
All right.
Is it Psylocke?
Is it Spider-Man? Dude, I'm like, oh my god, it's Groot.
Star-Lord.
I think this shouldn't be this hard. Oh my god, is it Hulk?
I think all the tanks are like eliminated.
No, they're not actually.
It's so obvious. It's actually like so obvious. It's so obvious.
Is it?
Oh my god, yes.
He got it.
It's strange.
Oh my god, is it Iron Man? Oh my god.
Who can guess their Marvel Rivals character first? Is my character wearing a mask?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my character a male?
Yes. Does my character gain overshield?
I will say no. Is my character DPS?
Nope. Is my character Iron Man?
Nope. Is my character tank?
Yes. Is my character's face covered?
Semi. Is my character Penny Parker?
No. What was your first question?
Is my character
Is my character a female?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my character Captain America?
Is my character Scarlet Witch?
No.
Alright.
Is my character Hulk?
Yeah. Alright. Is it Psylocke?
No.
Alright, I'm out.
We are going to guess this Valorant character on the screen. Is the character a male?
Are they a duelist?
Chamber. Is the character have smoke abilities?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. So they're male and they have somewhat smoke ability.
No Sentinel.
No Sentinel. I don't know characters like that.
Breach.
Brimstone? They don't have smoke abilities. I think that's a lie. I think they still have smoke abilities. And I'm going to hard stick on that.
Does the character have colored hair?
Do they have a damaging ability?
Is the character a robot?
Sova.
Harbor?
Do they have a prominent color?
Anything? Are they associated with fire? Is it ISAR?
That was gonna be my guess.
You made a question basically.
Was it the Sentinel question?
No Sentinel.
Do you know any of the Sentinels?
I think Cypher maybe.
That might be a good one. Do they have a nice little hat?
Does the character have flashes?
Cypher.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character. Can you? Are they a tank?
Are they a strategist?
Are they arranged?
Do they use animals?
Are they a mid-range DPS?
Are they a male?
Are they hit scan?
Were they in Phase 1 movies?
Is it both?
It was in first one.
Yeah.
Is it Moon Knight?
Is it more?
Is it Punisher?
Do they have any CC?
Are they really intelligent?
Iron Man.
Hawkeye. All right, yeah, I got it. This one, my final guess.
Go ahead, bro. You got it. You got
Is
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be embarrassed if it's not. Is it Spider-Man? What?
Star-Lord.
Oh.
I'm gonna have this Apex player rank 5 blind characters. Mirage.
Mirage 5, because it's no skill.
Okay.
You run up to someone and just Mirage ult, and there's just a bunch of Mirages everywhere.
Okay.
No skill.
Anger some Mirage players out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
very personal.
Watson.
I'll put Watson at 3. She's not very fun, but she's definitely crucial in close range building situations.
Revenant.
Ooh. I will put Revenant at number 1 with his rework.
Pathfinder.
This will probably upset some people, but I'm putting Path at 4.
At 4?
Pathfinder mains are cringe, man.
Interesting.
They're cringe. They just grapple away, and I don't like it.
If you're a Pathfinder main, you should get in the comments.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
also subscribe. And then finally, we're gonna do Bangalore.
Bangalore. You know what? I think 2 is actually a good spot for Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Pretty solid all-around character.
Let's see who can guess their Marvel character first. Is my character female?
No. Do they have the body shape of a human?
Yes. Is my character a god?
No. Does my character a duelist?
They are a duelist. Are they an alien?
No. Does my character have like superpowers?
Yes. Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Let's flip it, guys. Is my character melee?
Yes.
Oh, I'm thinking Wolverine.
Oh. Is he a duelist?
No. We got Magic, Spider-Man, Wolf. Hopefully I'm not missing any melees though. Is my character
Are they a Vanguard?
Yeah. Is their main color yellow?
Yes. Oh, I gotta go with my gut. Is it Doctor Strange?
No.
Really?
Is my character Wolf?
No, it's Wolverine. No, I'm just kidding. It is Wolverine. I gotta get my redemption. Is it Magneto?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's gonna blind rank 6 Marvel Rivals characters. For number 1, we have Moon Knight.
Oh, okay. I don't play Moon Knight, but this ultimate, you get it in like 5 seconds. I'm just gonna go B. It's not
Okay.
I would say that's probably a good ranking for him, especially those
Yeah.
onks. They wipe the floor. Next, we have Penny Parker.
I don't like Penny. I think she's kind of I mean, like dives. That's crazy. Like Groot, just play Groot. I'm not gonna put last. I feel like it's gonna be a really bad one, but it's down there.
Next we have Psylocke.
Oh, I'm really torn between is it above Moon Knight or below Moon Knight? And I think I'm gonna have to go above.
Okay,
Yeah.
might be controversial.
I don't know.
I've seen Psylocke wipe some teams, but I've also seen Moon Knight demolish the backline with his onks.
Yeah, I definitely do think Psylocke has like cool abilities. But Moon Knight, you know, you just do a little bit.
Next we have Mantis.
To be honest, I don't really know too much about Mantis. Okay, I'm gonna put C, green for green. It's
Green
not the
for
worst. Mantis is pretty good as a healer. I'll take a Mantis.
For our fifth character, we have Squirrel Girl.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, well, I mean, you got Moon Knight and Psylocke up here, so it's just like definitely prefer those two, and I only have S. So.
All right, so that means automatically in S tier,
what do we have?
You're putting Star-Lord.
Okay, honestly, I'll take it. Star-Lord's pretty good. Honestly, not a bad list.
So this is our final list. Comment down below what you think you would rank these characters in. Week 1 challenges are here. Data analytics. Help a coach build the best esports team. Cybersecurity, where you're going to attack your own grandma. The AI, of course. Content creation, where you submit your ideas to tell your own story. What are you doing here? Go away. Competing in weekly challenges will get you closer to prizes like this, but if you keep participating, it'll get you closer to prizes like this. So if that piqued your interest, make sure to join the stream to learn more.
These two juniors in high school both play football.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thursday Night Lights, VESL Spring Season. I'm still Succulents, joined by Time to Light. We are jumping into Marvel Rivals in just a couple of minutes. But before we do that, Dan, we of course have to talk about the Pathway leaderboards and how everybody is sitting amongst them. Now, we've got 3 leaderboards. We've got data analytics, content creation, and cybersecurity. Hail Monkey Man and I went over these a lot last week, but I'm curious to see how much they've shaken up here in week number 3.
Yeah, we've got all 3 of them to show you as well, I think, right on the other side of me pointing this way, because it would make sense if I'm pointing right off the screen if we go that direction. Maybe, am I right?
I don't know, but they're coming up in one way or another. But the good news is if you are watching and you want to be on these leaderboards, if you think you can beat the people at the ready, well, these are live leaderboards, and that means you can join at any point and outbeat your opponents at any time this season to qualify for states. But of course, 142.2 for Lost Rallis against Maxim 0203 at 139. So here in the data analytics lineup, it's a pretty close race. Only 138 for Curry Jazz in 3rd place.
Then 138.45 for Zinix in 4th.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
0.02 difference between our podium and just off that podium place. Also, look at some of the names we see here. There are 4 Huskies on this leaderboard in the top 10. 2 players from Ardrey Kell, no less, as well.
And they're holding the hands on the leaderboard. Yeah, you got a lot of familiar faces here, at least a lot of familiar schools in the data analytics leaderboard. Now, is the same going to be said for the content creation leaderboard? Well, let's find out, because I'm not mistaken, this one last week was really close as well. So I'm excited to see how this content creation leaderboard is going to look. Cat Beaches still on top, 126.82, with Orange in 2nd place, and Becca the Destroyer just barely 1 point behind.
5 Ardrey Kell members of the 9 on the leaderboard.
Hey, they go crazy.
Individuality for schools, no less. That's impressive. And between 5 and 6, 114.21, 114.07.
Yeah, and I mean, this is exciting as well because Hail Monkey Man and I talked about this last week. The content creation leaderboard is based off of these students preparing to / creating their own documentary, which I think is super exciting. We get the opportunity to see their progress every week, and I believe right now they're kind of working on the hooks or maybe early trailers of these documentaries, and it's a very cool thing to do. We're not getting a lot of that here in the realm of esports, and I hope that VESL continues to help that out. Cat Peaches from East Cabarrus, they're doing a great job thus far, but we've got one more leaderboard to look at before we jump into Marvel Rivals. That is cybersecurity. Now, this one, I believe, was also an incredibly close race last time.
It is. Everybody's tied for first. Okay, we got a 10-way tie, probably more than that, arguably, for first.
I was going to say at least 10-way.
Couple recognizable names in there as well. Idyllic, Cat Peaches is in 8th on the leaderboard in 2 of our 3 categories. NCVA Saturn is down there in 10th. Again, all technically tied for first.
Yeah, Becca the Destroyer in 2 of these as well. I believe not in data analytics, but in the other 2. We've got Lost Rallis as well. So a lot of familiar faces across the board, and a big congratulations to these players for at least making the leaderboard and maybe even tying for first place here in the cybersecurity. I think that's super sick.
one thing is, since there are ties, and by ties I mean since everybody is tied, these ranks are determined by the timing they've done. So that's how this has been determined. And at this point, I feel like we should just change the points to timing because
I agree. If we're all going to max out on points, maybe just shifting it to the timer itself could be a bit more beneficial. But regardless, a big congratulations to Idyllic here in first place in cybersecurity. Very exciting, and the timing makes the difference at the end of the day. Now, we've got a lot of winners on those boards, all three of those leaderboards. We've got winners in Brawlhalla, Drone Rivalries, and Valorant as well. We're waiting for the winners in one more thing here tonight, Time to Light, and that is going to be Marvel Rivals.
Hey, I played a lot of Marvel Rivals the last 2 nights, and let's just say I shouldn't have, because it did not help my win-loss ratio. Now, at the same time, I'm solo queuing into Unranked and kind of just immediately locking Punisher, because I don't like winning, and just shooting people in the face is kind of fun. But luckily for these players, they've got a full 5 or 6 stack alongside them, and hopefully they've all gotten their roles shored up before going into these maps.
Yeah, and both these teams currently 2-0. Going into our first domination match, we're going to be seeing the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, which is very exciting. One of my favorite maps in the game. Domination, my favorite game mode. I say that every week. But it's important that I continue to say it because I think it is the most fun game mode in the game. I believe players are at the very least in the lobby. I don't know if they're fully ready to play quite yet, but we are waiting to find out just how quickly these players are coming out. Let me take a look at some disparaging ranks here. Seeing Diamond mostly across the board. Both teams have, I believe, one Grandmaster player on both sides, so this could be pretty exciting.
I'm also looking at the roles we're picking in. Now, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when I was on here. I also talked about this last week when covering Overwatch, but there are a lot of console players.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little curious as to how many of them will end up being successful or what roles they pick up. I saw this. I was on LAN covering a college event this most recent weekend, and there were 2 players in our grand final playing on controller, and one of them was not a support, surprisingly enough, which is kind of surprising. Actually, I think it was losers finals, not grand finals, but still.
But still, I mean, it's surprising to see a player make it that far on controller when it does slow your 360-degree ability to turn, your ability to react, your time to change on the 360 axis instead of just the cardinal directions. And right now, we don't have every player in the lobby yet. We're actually 1 short, but 3 players on both teams right now are console players. And funnily enough, all the players on one team are PlayStation, all the players on the other are Xbox. And I'm going to see if this 6th and final or 12th and final player is going to change that, if we're going to see 7 players in total, which would put us just over half the lobby being on console.
So you've heard of drone rivalries. How about console rivalries in Marvel Rivals?
A lot of rivals today. Yeah, whole lot of rivals today. I mean, it is pretty surprising. We're hoping to see this player get ready. I believe they're having some shader compiling issues, which funnily enough, I had that today as well. Not in Marvel Rivals. I was actually playing the new Split Fiction game, which is incredibly fun. Did not get to play a whole lot of it, but it was a blast. So I hope that these players are pretty excited. I mean, I hope that the shaders compiling isn't going to slow anybody's rate of progress, but hopefully we're able to get started pretty soon.
I'm also excited to see Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda as our first map. I saw that a couple times 2 nights ago, and I always love how most of the time the tank selection is usually the difference maker in a game. I've seen a lot of Doctor Strange played on this map. Now, I think I see a lot of Doctor Strange on most domination maps, period. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case again.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming into this, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing the shader compiling issue, if that's going to be kind of a lag issue in the near future, or if it's going to be something of that nature, as we're waiting for this player to go ahead and get ready. But unfortunately, we're hearing that they're still having some tech issues. So we're going to go ahead, throw it to another break, just so we're not sitting here yapping at you guys. And we'll be back with some Marvel Rivals action, hopefully, in just a couple of minutes.
Play football and are about to rank their favorite STEM careers. Data analysts. As a football player in high school, sports analysts analyze. This
I'm putting that.
Marketing manager.
Yeah, I like this.
Cybersecurity.
It's important to keep your data. You wouldn't want anybody to hack you. I would do B.
Aerospace engineer.
I would want to make a plane fly.
Robotics engineer.
I would say this is important for the future because we're going to have a lot of robotic stuff. So yeah,
S tier. What type of robot do you want to work on?
A chef. So when I get older, I'm going to have pancakes and all that.
Neurosurgeon.
I ain't messing with nobody brain.
How successful do you think you would be?
Oh, nah, you're done. You're done.
Industrial engineer.
B.
Software engineer.
I'll put S. I create a new game.
I will move marketing to S. Like, we play sports, and that's a very important part.
Yeah, we all took that class.
He's gonna blind rank 6 Marvel rival characters. For our first one, we got Black Panther.
Ooh, Black Panther, controversial, but I'm putting him straight at E. Yeah, I hate him. I can't lie. Like, you all can think what you want of Black Panther, but he deserves to be at the bottom.
Next we have Mr. Fantastic.
Ooh, Mr. Fantastic gets a lot of love, but a lot of hate from this guy, D, right there. Yeah, I'm not liking my choices so far.
Following it up, we have Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman is an easy A. She has been a phenomenal healer, and the only one I think that rivals Luna.
Next we have Jeff.
C tier, and it's only because I put Black Panther at E. My boy Jeff, I'm tired of you throwing me off the map. Like, this is not fun, this is not cool, stop it.
All right, and now we have Magic.
Magic is B, for sure. I'm fine with that. She's not the best DPS, not the worst, but she's still got like a fun kit to her, so yeah, B makes sense.
For our last character, we have Captain America.
See, listen, I'm a tank guy, I'm a Vanguard guy anyway, so S tier for Mr. Captain America, I'll take it. I'm actually fine with this. I don't think I'd change much other than putting Jeff way lower on the tier list if I could.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character, can you? Is it a support?
Do they use animals in their kit?
Do they have any stars?
Can they traverse on the walls?
Is it Spider-Man?
Are they a melee character?
Penny. Okay, I give up. I guess Penny's also not a melee character.
Is it Iron Fist?
Ever wondered why Doctor Strange's portals caused FPS drops in Marvel Rivals? Well, it really is a feat of modern computer engineering since you're simulating 2 worlds coming together. Since it's so complicated, when Marvel Rivals first came out, a lot of users had issues trying to load Strange's portals. But what exactly caused this? First, we gotta talk about how the portals actually work. One of the first and most famous examples of wormhole portals in games is, of course, Valve's portal. The portals here stick to the wall and spawn a camera at the portal's location to show the portal's POV. And then they also adjust their angle to match the player's angle. In order to fix the weird perspective, you've got to pull the camera back away from the portal and also zoom in to fix the FOV and also match the player's view distance. Now it looks good, but does it portal good? No. When objects start to clip into the portal, they're then teleported to the other portal, which makes them look flat. So just create 2 instances of that object, both existing at each portal, and now it both looks and acts real. But what doesn't act real is Marvel Rivals portals. 17 years later, and Marvel Rivals portals has less tech than Portal. Strange's portals don't spawn a second character, so you can't exist at both locations at the same time. It's less complicated, but still drops your frame rate. Why? It's all because of those silly little cameras spawned at each portal. Your GPU instantly starts rendering 3 times the amount of pixels, which acts as if you just plugged in 2 extra monitors into your computer and started playing 2 more games. That's a great way to fry your computer.
Let's see who can guess their Marvel character first.
Is my character a duelist?
Yes. Are they a tank?
No. Is my character human, not including mutant?
Yeah. Is my character a male?
No. Are they melee?
No. Are they a support?
They're not a support. Is my character male?
Yeah. Do they use a weapon?
No. Do they have a team up with a support character?
No. Alright, I'm gonna just YOLO this. Is my character Storm?
Nope.
Ah, GG.
Is it Hawkeye?
Yes. Is mine Witch?
It is Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Who can guess their Marvel Rivals character first? Is my character a tank?
Nope. Is my character an Avenger?
Yes. Is my character a mutant?
Yes. Is my character's primary fire a ranger?
No. Can my character fly?
Nope. Is my character Captain America?
Yeah, yes. Your character is Captain America.
Just for them.
Is my character Wolverine? She's a mutant!
Double your win rate in Valorant using this one stim trick. Yeah, don't be like that guy. When you peek an angle, your movement input is sent to the server, which takes time to get there. This is how peeker's advantage works. Let's say you're peeking an angle and your opponent here is holding it like their DoorDasher just arrived. Once your movement is sent to the server, it then has to be sent to your opponent's client, which takes even more time. Meaning you experience your own movement instantly while Mr. AFK over here has to wait on the information from the server. This means that you get to see them before they get to see you. The amount of time your advantage lasts is equal to half of your ping plus half of your opponent's ping, since ping measures a round trip from client to server. So here you get to see Mr. No Time to Cook 48 milliseconds early. Your reaction time is only about 200 milliseconds, so this is a fantastic advantage to have in your back pocket. So how do you use it? When you know somebody is likely around the corner, go ahead and prep your brain and then move into the angle with speed. If you move slowly, they're gonna see your shoulder way before your head, nullifying the advantage. And if you know somebody is gonna peek you, just counter peek them instead and cancel out the effect. Which is how you...
Who can guess their Marvel rival character first?
Is my character a support?
Yes. Is my character male?
No. Ooh, why am I thinking like Invisible Woman? Is my character have one of them broken defensive ults?
A health regen type ultimate?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that was good. I think I'm cooked.
Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Are they blonde?
Is my character a strategist?
No. Is my character Invis?
Psylocke?
No. Oh, then
Who can guess their Marvel character first? Is it a woman?
No. Is my character a tank?
No. Is your character a tank?
No. Is my character a support?
Yeah. Is my character a DPS?
Yes. Is my character a human?
Not human. Is my character human?
Yes. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character Mantis?
Nope. Is my character moon related?
No.
Ah.
Is my character Loki?
No. Does my character have armor?
No, I don't think so. Okay, is my character Adam Warlock?
Yes. Is my character Namor?
No.
Fantastic, ain't it?
All right.
Ty and Sam are about to rank which STEM careers that they think make the most amount of money. Which one are you guys starting with?
The neurosurgeon. Definitely, because you have to go in the brain.
You save lives.
STEM saves lives.
Aerospace engineer is the second.
What do you think the national average salary for these two positions are?
I'm gonna say 800,000, 300,000. Marketing managing is like 80,000, and I would say this is probably 90,000. Robotic engineering, I'd say like 5,000.
Yeah, software engineers around the 90,000 range.
Nah. To D, this one down to C, 200,000. Final guess.
Below neurosurgeon is cybersecurity at $120,000 a year. Why'd you guys put that so low?
It is important, but I don't think it's as important as the other jobs.
Did you guys know that hospitals get hacked?
No.
Yeah, and they hold hospitals for ransom.
I did not know that.
And so these guys step in to save lives just like the neurosurgeon.
I feel like everything we put up top is like hands-on jobs. Hands-on jobs, I would think to be more money. These are like on a computer, so I wouldn't think it would be as hard.
Is this changing your perspective on
Yeah.
what types of industries that you would want to go into?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to learn more about these STEM careers, head to thenotwork.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VESL Thursday Night Lights. I'm still Septilence, joined by Time to Light, and we're jumping into Marvel Rivals in just a minute. We finally got those shader compiling issues out of the way, and we're super excited to be jumping into this Marvel Rivals best of 3.
Yeah, and the other problem is we were talking about maybe doing this beforehand, saying, hey, you know, you've got a game at like 6 o'clock, but at the same time, you don't always know when shaders have been updated. So you're up into the game right before you start. Maybe players just getting out of class, they're just coming from athletics. And you're like, yeah, I've got a game scheduled for 7 and maybe 8 o'clock. You open the game at 5:45, 6:45, whatever, and oh, wait, no, there's a problem. Luckily, as we transfer over, that problem has been solved. We're headed to the intergalactic replay that people didn't totally see at the bottom.
No, absolutely not. We're jumping into the matchup here, and I actually don't think that it is. I think it is just that's how it looks in the spectator.
It shows.
Yeah, I think that's just how it looks in the spectator thing, which is always very interesting to me. But I'm definitely recognizing a lot of these names here. I feel like we've seen Nullified before. I feel like we've seen Kano PC before. But looking at the bands, I'm excited to see Wolverine coming through as the band. That's not surprising. But Luna Snow from Olympic. Now that's not something you expect to see in a situation like this one.
I'd see Luna Snow as one of the later stage players.
Oh, and Penny Parker?
What in the world?
Oh man, I get it. Penny's super annoying. She's super strong. I see where they're coming from with the mindset, but it's just like, dang, let's see some Penny Parker action, please. She's so fun to watch. But Hulk on the other side. Yeah, Hulk on the other side. No surprises there.
I think these two teams are just banning fun. That's what I think. Now, this is one of the few games apart from Rainbow Six that I've seen that has bans like this going into each individual map, which I honestly love, especially because, like in Valorant, for instance, I'm surprised there isn't even between most maps. In Overwatch, we've seen it a lot of Face It games recently because there has been such a large addition of different heroes. However, these hero bans, I wouldn't say are blasphemy, but I'm going to be missing a couple of them. Let's put it that way.
No, for sure, and let's see as these teams come to existence. We've got Cloak and Dagger on both sides. Mantis versus Invisible Woman, though, that's a fascinating turnaround at a time like this because Mantis is one of the stronger supports in the game, and we do tend to see that. But what I'm mostly excited about is the Thing didn't get banned this week. Last week he got banned every single game. I didn't get to see him at all. I was really sad about it, but I'm excited that maybe he's just even allowed to be on the table right now, and Chandler seems to be bringing him out in the Ben Grimm disguise outfit as well, one of my favorites. So Olympic Blue trying to bring the Thing to the table, and I hope that they're going to be able to do so.
You know, I saw the Thing used in like some TikTok video recently as a scary combo with Spider-Man. I don't know if anybody's seen this, where you can combine Spider-Man's, I think it's his ult, with the uplift of the Thing, which I love. And the fact that people are pretending me, well, honestly, at some point, is really impressive.
Psylocke out early here as Pro tries to be the first to touch down onto the point. They're going to be running into Chandler on the Thing. A lot of HP in the pocket, but look at all that damage to be dealt all the same. 6 players alive on both sides of the engagement. Does open up here for the first sight. And honestly, I'm surprised to not see even one elimination yet. But as we see Cairo dive into the back line here, they might be able to pick up something. And they are going to be able to find an elimination with the help of the team there. Kano into one, Cairo into another. And it looks like we are going to be seeing Olympic Blue take the lead here. 3 eliminations versus only their 1.
Origin has a perfect backline play there. Cloak Dagger will probably go down at the end of this as well. Combine that with Thor, you got a really good setup. I love the fact that Origin jumps into the backline where most of the team stays frontline. And usually you can have the team turn attention and really pay attention to the backline.
Yeah.
You have so much of an onslaught from up front. You're kind of leaving 1 or 2 players on their own. You don't have a choice otherwise.
Yeah, oh my goodness, check out this aggression early here. Cloak and Dagger down on both sides, but Dr. Strange not going to be far behind. And it looks like Caldwell not even going to get the opportunity to really take this fight before they lose it. Shadow Timu, triple kill with the help of the team there. Going to be an Invisible Woman elimination, trying to pick up something, but I fear it may be too little too late. And Caldwell going to be taken out in that fight again, which gives the opportunity of Olympic to get to probably just under 50% before a re-engage.
And combine that with the fact that Magneto, that's Finn Bizzle, is one of the console players. One thing I love about Marvel Rival is it shows you the keybinds at the bottom right. That tells you who's on console, who may not be, and what their role is in the team. We've seen that Doctor Strange in the backline. It worked there, but you're just losing a lot earlier.
Yeah.
They won't have a chance to make the
This Thor ult here from Kano, I think, could really separate a fight early, but as Pro's been eliminated out the gate, I do see the mentality here of just holding on to it if you don't need to use it, especially as the fight is already tipping in Olympic's favor. They're up into 70% territory now. Should be able to get a pretty aggressive blind here as that does fall. Finn Bizzle, excuse me, taking down 75% on the board. 6 ultimates in their pocket. I mean, this is Olympic's map to lose right now.
No, at this point, already at 80%. We're looking at a last touch, maybe a stagger as well. And you combine that with the fact that there's been such good target prioritization from the backline of Olympic Blue. The Mantis combo was near perfect with Cloak and Dagger. They realized each of them were kind of low, so they healed each other without having to prioritize the rest of the team, while they all started to output damage in here with 95%. Are they even going to touch? I don't know if they have a chance.
I don't know if they have an opportunity to touch here. It's going to be 6 players going in, but 100% on the board does win that first stage here. That's going to be a really strong start for Olympic. Caldwell really not able to find any footing after losing that first fight.
And Stellar Spaceport goes the way of Olympic Blue. We're headed to the Imperial Institute of Science for round number 2 here at Domination. And that was just individual domination. And I love that spatial awareness from Olympic Blue, kind of understanding, hey, this is a done round. There's no reason to overextend into it.
Yeah.
Let's just hold on to ultimates and play for them into round number 2. You can kind of use them immediately if you have to. Now, there are, if I'm doing my math correctly, which is already scary on stream, is that 9 ultimates available? Yeah, there are 9 ults on the board between these 12 players. This first fight may be ultimate ridden, if not one of the last.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this first fight, with the way Olympic's playing, I think they're going to be going in an attempt to make it a dry fight in their favor. They're going to try to force their opponent Caldwell to use as many ultimates as possible while using as few of of their own as they can. I think that's a pretty intelligent way to approach a fight like this when your team is in the lead, but let's see if they have that same mentality or if they choose to go in, like you said, guns blazing.
I've also seen teams try and force out ultimates and then disengage and then use their own. So
That's true, yeah, absolutely.
Both quads will use them, but only one finds real efficacy. That could be the case here. It really comes down to the timing and how Olympic Blue wants to play this, because they've kind of been the determining factor of most of these early fights.
Battlefield medicine.
Already Nullified finds an elimination, and that's going to be the guarantee that no ultimates need to make an appearance if they don't want them to. But Nullified just looking for that team kill here, going in deep, using that ultimate, going to be the only one most likely used. 3 eliminations already found and 1% on the board and counting.
Pro uses theirs, surprisingly enough, but it may not really matter.
Yeah, I
think defeat.
Mentality was there, but just timing was not. Pro's ultimate is not a game or a fight winning ult. Instead, you want to be using that more to help somebody else when they ult. I think a little bit of misusage there is going to go a long way, and unfortunately, as another ultimate that Olympic was probably stoked to see.
It's a great ultimate economy there for Olympic Blue, though. Kind of understanding we found the opening. Let's guarantee that we've won this fight without allowing Caldwell away back in, because you know Caldwell still has a lot on. Now, we've seen this before. Doctor Strange with the teleporter into the backline. Is there enough of an about face for Olympic Blue? Yes, there is. What a turn.
We've got the Scarlet Witch ultimate in the pocket here as well, and Scarlet Witch is going to be a character that you see traditionally in kind of the lower, the metal ranks, as they are sometimes referred to, and I think we're going to be seeing her make an appearance here with that nuke in pocket. Could be a great way to flip the fight around, but as we see, Olympic is already halfway done with the second stage of this map. VESL, the first one to make that first blood happen, takes Cyclo out of the equation early. Another elimination in favor of Caldwell, going down, but not out quite yet. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing Olympic go for a full reset, and it looks like we just might.
I wouldn't blame them. I mean, they use very little in that fight, and they swap against Sekiro. After using the ult, they just kind of swap and stay with this cloak and dagger. They still have the thing available. Mantis kind of isolated because they were playing a great fight. That's a luck you can't afford.
Just absolutely not. We see a couple of stuns go through onto the side of Caldwell. We need an elimination happening against them if Olympic wants to try and turn this around, but instead it's going to be Pro finally coming back to life at a time where they absolutely needed to the most. They recognize the error in their ways of that first approach early on. They want to try to make it happen here with a secondary try. There's the nuke. Oh, it's going to be able to find one, and already we need Olympic to recontest as a team. They're going in one by one, and like dominoes, they will continue to fall if they cannot restabilize.
What is this play, though, from Olympic Blue? They've had a lot of spatial awareness throughout most of this map as a whole. This second round, I mean, after getting to 50%, it's been nightmare after nightmare.
Yeah.
They somehow staying alive in this fight and just dedicating themselves
He shouldn't
to
be.
And I mean, credit to Mantis there for keeping him up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a
they're
scenario
winning now?
Nullified is going to come through. I wouldn't call it winning now quite yet. It's only one elimination. I want to see at least one more just like that before we really start to call it a team fight tip, and it is going to be happening here. As we do see Caldwell has taken the lead, but as we see, they're clearly not going to be holding it for particularly long. That is going to be a great turnaround from Olympic. I believe only one ultimate used in the process. A couple more going to be happening in this next and possibly final fight.
I mean, it does come down to the dedication of the Mantis. Soul Resurgence gets used there, kind of sets up the fight after the opening pick. And again, it was similar to the opening fight here of our second round. They find an opening pick and then they dedicate to the round, rather than the opposite direction, for using an ultimate to get themselves in.
Using that ult to get themselves in could be a strategy here, but 82% on the board. I want to see this Cloak and Dagger ultimate make an appearance, and it's going to be the Ben Grimm ult that comes out next. No eliminations off the back of it. We see Pro bringing out Mr. Fantastic ultimate in their pocket. Elimination on Mantis once more. This is going to be a fight you think Olympic was going to be able to win, but unfortunately, I think Caldwell may be taking us to stage 3 here of our first map.
It could be timing, though. This cap should get them to 99% on the Olympic Blue side, and they may just disengage when everybody else comes back into the fight. It does still come down to timing, though.
Oh, no way. Nullified on the Moon Knight, just barely going to be able to claw themselves back into a possible victory. The Ankh goes up. Doctor Strange may go down, running from 3 players. And just when we think we're going to stage 3, Olympic is going to be able to clutch it out. A beautiful showing from them at a time they needed to most. They win map number 1, 2-0.
And it was with most of their ultimate wielding heroes dead as well.
Yeah.
It was more of a dry tale of that fight. Nullified the only one with it in their back pocket. They kind of bring back, what was that, a 2 versus 4, 2 versus 3?
Yeah.
Now, they had a lot of damage done, sure, but that not on the cards at the end of that fight. Somehow, just an individual can help bring it back. The fact that they still had their Doctor Strange in the fight as well certainly helped their case.
Absolutely. The Doctor Strange shield able to keep that Moon Knight up when he had just 5 HP on the board, got those 2 eliminations when they needed to most. They're able to find themselves in the winner's seat. And now going into our second map type here, I believe we're going to be going to Tokyo 2099, the only map in the game my computer really, really does not like, and I don't know why.
I feel like some of the buildings around you just aren't efficient.
It also might have the most destructible buildings, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. But this map in particular, you know, originally when the game came out, I had that 99% loading issue where I'd get stuck loading into like every single map that I played. But I fixed it for every map except this one, and I always load in probably about 10 to 15 seconds late.
I mean, with Tokyo 99, I feel like it's my favorite map in the pool. Now, for 2 separate reasons. Number 1, I love adjustability, and number 2, it makes me feel like I'm playing Rainbow Six again, being able to break half of these kind of open walls around me. And I'm a Rainbow Six fan. I mean, we've been talking in chat, or at least I've been talking in chat with some people who want to bring Rainbow Six into VESL. There was a Rainbow Six standalone tournament, and it was amazing. And I saw basically every game. Very entertaining. So there is some background for that for all of you Six fans. But there's also a lot of adjustability for maps like this because of that map amenability, if that's the adjective I was looking for.
Sure. I see where you're coming from. I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, going into this is going to be our convergence map as well, which I believe is when the defending team will defend a site, and then the cart will move if it is captured by the attacking team. But a full hold we saw last week pretty aggressively here on our convergence map, which was also, I believe, only our second of 3 maps. We went all the way to 3 maps last week, and I'm wondering if maybe we're going to get that same blessing here. The game felt a little bit close, but Caldwell, I think, just warmed up too little too late. Now that we kind of get to start over as everybody, I am excited to see if they're going to be able to make this happen.
It also comes down to how quickly they can get that original cap. This is the main difference between the push here, or the control here, and the difference maker over on Overwatch, which I kind of like this one a little bit better. We've seen teams kind of try and close hold because of that availability, where that's not really the same case in Overwatch. There are slight, again, minute differences, despite the fact that it's a similar game type, and a lot of these game modes are very similar. They do have those differences, not only in the obvious hero changes, but in how the execute itself works. And I feel like the attack has a slight disadvantage because of that. And on maps like this, they kind of need it, especially first phase.
Sure, absolutely. That first phase, you've got to come in aggressively, you've got to come in quick, and you've got to be able to open that door before it is closed in your face, or things can really end up being disastrous for you. Now, I see all 12 players already in lobby, which I'm super excited about. Hopefully these players are going to be able to get this game started as quickly as possible, and this is going to be a fascinating one. The first fight can often dictate exactly how the rest of this map tends to go, so fight number 1 going to make a big difference. But before we even get to that fight, we got to get the bans first.
I'd say bans shouldn't be all that different compared
I
to
agree.
map 1.
I agree. For sure.
Especially with specifically the bans we already saw. There's no reason for the change. I think we may see the Thing banned out here in map 2, only because of how impactful it was in map 1. But at the same time, as somebody who has had to face the Thing many a time, I don't blame them.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, I get it. I'm a sucker for the Thing as a hero, as a concept. So of course, when he's introduced into the game, I couldn't help but love him, and I believe that I always will, no matter what the rest of the world says to me. So we're gonna be seeing what these players bring to the table here in just a couple of minutes, and hopefully we've got a little bit of some changed up bans. I'm seeing a lot of bans based on what people are playing in comp, and that's not what I want to see. I want to see you banning what the enemy team is playing. I want to see you them trying to shake them up, which makes me think we might be seeing a Doctor Strange ban in just a minute here.
I mean, at the same time, both teams kind of used the Doctor Strange. Just one of them was a little bit more successful for Blue. And I think Moon Knight could very reasonably be a ban here, just because of how impactful it ended Game 1. There's a lot of reasonable bans, and I think most of them, if not all of them, should come from one side. So don't count this overall. Caldwell is on the bottom of your screen, so those bans would be probably closer to the Thing, if not Moon Knight, but it seems like we're sticking with those same bans we had in map number 1. No change.
This is so boring. Luna Snow and Wolverine both banned out again. Wolverine, I get that guy's a menace, but Luna Snow, she's just like every other support in the game, and I feel like maybe we're playing slight favorites here. We can get some other eliminations across the board, but yep, here it is, Dan, as you predicted. Hulk banned on one side. Oh no, unless the disagreement. Penny Parker on the other. Everybody a bit too scared to make the difference they want to try to make. They're going to stick to the bans they know going into map number 2.
I think the only reason that the Thing was not banned is because they want to try and mirror it. And the issue they're going to run into is it's going to be a Thing mirror, but it's also not going to be the Doctor Strange mirror this time around.
Yep.
And I would not be surprised if Caldwell is going to be caught out because of this in our first couple fights. Kano going back to that Thor. Dr. Strange was a swap a lot later on in game number 1.
Yeah.
This could cost them, I'm going to say first fight, maybe second fight. Now, their benefit is they are on the attacking side. So first fight, second fight don't mean as much for the attack as it does the defense. But something to keep in mind to understate the obvious.
Yeah, without a doubt. So here's the thing.
Stay strong.
Literally. On both sides. They're both going to be bringing him to the table here, and we see that the double Vanguard, Doctor Strange versus Thor, is going to be really interesting. Doctor Strange, of course, a bit more of a passive play style, a little bit slower, a little less hyper-aggressive, if you will. But on the other side, Thor, that's his whole thing, to get up close and personal in your back line, to get hyper-aggressive, and try to take down somebody as quickly as he can. But all things considered, I'm hoping that the Thing v Thing matchup doesn't end up costing our friends at Caldwell.
I think the only problem is it's not the fact that they're mirroring the Thing. Again, I hate making these puns, but I don't.
Oh, I don't. I love every
Mostly they're jealous.
But this backline TP, they're trying to target Mantis. If they can jump in here quickly enough, Mantis going down could change over this fight. Dr. Strange big shot at though. Through what a snipe from Mantis. What a backline play. There should be an audio cue here. There is. They just need to be careful of how quickly they can get out of it.
Ooh, a lot of action back to back here. It's going to be a lot of damage, but nobody going down quite yet. And I believe the first elimination is going to be Chandler. So already Olympic going to be losing one player, and a great start from Caldwell. Can they continue carrying the energy out, though, or is it going to end up costing them at a time like this? Going to have to wait and see what can be done here one way or another. A lot of damage out on both sides, but I do think Olympic is going to have to bite the bullet on this one and try to...
I mean, hold up. Olympic is heavily disengaged here, waiting for the Thing to get back, and they've been successful. This is a perfect play from Olympic. It's basically a game of hide-and-go-seek until your Vanguard gets back into the fight, and it's worked for them. Even with Doctor Strange on the board, Carrigan's back. Kano now has some assists behind them on that Thor. Dream scenario, apart from the fact they still aren't doing the damage they need in a 6v6.
Oh my goodness, even some ultimates already making an appearance here. Going to be coming out early at a time like this. We see the action coming through. But still, I mean, just recontest after recontest over and over and over. Nobody going down quite yet. I want to see this Psylocke ultimate make an appearance if they have to. Both things able to find one elimination, but it's Chandler really coming up in droves. The crazy thing here, TTL, is that there's already half the time bank gone.
I was going to say, it's a minute and a half, maybe a minute 45 already. Watch out for Dr. Strange going. There's no way Olympic Blue's going to win this fight. How many times they had limited numbers in their back.
Insane.
They finished the fight. I cannot believe that. There were 4 or 5 different times in that fight, which was really just one long fight, where you could have said to yourself, oh yeah, Caldwell should already have capped. But because of how well the delay factor for Olympic Blue went, they were able to sustain afterwards with the backline mostly staying alive, and it worked perfectly.
There it is. Hyper-aggressive Psylocke ultimate, unfortunately, is not going to be able to do much. You've already lost magic in the backline. Nobody looking at Nullified here in the heavens, just completely above and beyond them. At a time like this, it's going to be Kairogen able to find another elimination of their own. We are down to 90 seconds on the clock, and every ultimate that's been used by Caldwell has been essentially null and void.
At that same point, Olympic Blue has been very selective with their ult usage. If Chandler didn't pop it for the Thing in that fight they did, it would have been a done deal. Pat probably would have already happened and we would have been on the move. But at this point, Chandler is already 75% to another. Finbizzle used it at about the same time, is 20-30% fine. This is a still dream scenario.
Oh, no way. Oh, only one elimination off the back here. Pro looking for one of their own. Behind it though, Kairogen triple kill. The Eye of Agamotto gets a little bit of slow speed there, but it's not going to be able to pick up that speed that they're necessarily looking for. 50 seconds on the clock now. I'm not sure if Caldwell's going to be able to break through this.
No, and Mantis, along with Cloak and Dagger, both having ults on the way. Kairogen's still impactful, even with only using one in the fight. The fact that individuals have been so good, this could catch them out. Doctor Strange trying to TP back. There should be some information here. Thor jumping. Well, play him up.
Ooh, the Thor ult from the heavens finds a double, and it's over before it can even begin. 1/3 of the team eliminated, and the rest about to be obliterated by a power player performance here on the side of Olympic versus Caldwell. It is a beautiful showing if I've ever seen one, but these teams just not able to get the speed they're looking for. Caldwell full held here on the beginning of Tokyo 2099.
can't be surprised they didn't find a touch here. It really won't matter if they do. They won't. What an individual effort there from Kano. And the fact they pull it off through the teleporter of Doctor Strange on the other team. They're like, yeah, we didn't really pick Doctor Strange this time around. We went Thor thing. Let's just use theirs. And they weren't expecting it. I don't even think they saw the Thor, which is just unfortunate at that point. And they kind of jump into their own death. Everybody mostly centralized. Just too impactful as of an individual effort, it seems. And round 2, I don't know how long this one will take, I'm going to be honest with you.
I honestly have no idea here. This could be a bit of a tough scenario, though. And hopefully things are going to be able to work well for our friends at Olympic, because they are just one team fight away from being able to win this.
One full team fight. And, let's throw it back just for a second. Remember that fight that started after the Doctor Strange teleporter 35 seconds into the round? That fight took 1 minute 15 seconds and they lost it after having probably 7 separate eliminations during the extended team. They basically had a team kill, but because it took them 1 minute and 15 seconds to find most of a team kill, they weren't able to finish off what they started. Look at the numbers on that squad. A total, actually, of 7 deaths. I'd say 5 or at least 6 of them came in that one fight. And after that, it was just domination upon domination.
3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Needless to say, individual efforts can very easily be the difference maker. And at this point, there could be a very quick close to our map number 2, and thus the best of 3. Moon Knight again from the high ground. That's it. That could be the game. That alone could be the difference maker. It is again Moon Knight being the change from what we've seen in maps 1 and 2. The Thing is already on low HP, and that'll just about do it. They don't even find a kill on the Caldwell side. The cap comes through. I don't know if you can call that a C9 here in game, but that is the extent of this best of 3 done. Round 2 takes all of 34 seconds for that one cap over, and Olympic Blue escapes with the penultimate victory. Marvel Rivals goes their direction, and I don't care who you want to call the MVP at the end of the day, but the Thor is how things ended that full reign of terror on the attacking side for Caldwell, and there just was not a second effort even available, much less on the Olympic Blue side. I gotta say, individual efforts being what they are, Chandler had a great showing, but Keno going 19-0 in this entire map. The only player in the game not to die. Cherry the Fox dies on 7 separate occasions. And it just seems like Olympic Blue, with that closeout here, Sep, did not waver. The Thor kind of popped off, but it was Moon Knight again who closed things out 16-1 in this game.
I mean, that is just the way to do it, right? I talk about Moon Knight every single week. We see that 16-1. We see this player come through where people just forget to look at him when it matters. People forget to look at those high grounds, and Moon Knight does a lot of what people want Spider-Man to do, and that's be sneaky. That's be in the back line. That's find some very valuable eliminations, and Nullified did just that. I mean, nothing short of impressive.
Kind of helps when you also have the high ground every time and nobody tries to take you off of it. We
No,
saw
exactly,
that
exactly.
Round 2, just find that kill. I think it was on to Cherry the Fox, which was kind of ironic. The fact the most killed player in the game is the first one dead in the final fight. Credit where it's due, though. Kyrogen, only player with more than 1 death on Olympic Blue, and they do so in the perfect way. They're playing their own heroes to perfection, kind of dive backline, become a nuisance. Even if you go down, you're almost always finding one in the process, and you're opening up your team for multiple different times or occasions to find more picks on top of that. Your 1 death is, we'll say, slightly a bait, more of just the red herring for the play.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, when you're playing Magic, when you're playing close quarters and you have to be up close and personal, you're going to die a couple more times than the rest of the team, I think. But even three across an entire map is nothing to be upset about. But a great win from our friends at Olympic, and the final win from VESL here tonight. So we had a lot of great games. We've got a lot more great games for you guys next week. If you like what you're seeing, well, we're here next week, same place, same time, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for watching. We love each and every one of you. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you guys next week.